I have no intro video. Hey, everybody. Welcome to just another night of... Sorry, now I'm looking at the stuff on the side that I have never noticed before. They've been updating StreamYard, and I have been paying zero attention to... Oh, I should take this off the screen, too. Zero attention to the updates. But here we are. I'm going to turn this. This frame looks done. Why do I do things like that? Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christmas time. Something city or something.
Yeah.
Here with Elliot. What's up, buddy?
Word. What's up, man?
Not much. We're going to be drawing the next one on the list.
What's the next one on the list?
Marvel Rivals.
But what's the next one? Iron Fist?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Marvel Rivals. Iron Fist. Let's see.
What?
What are you laughing at?
You just keep doing it.
Iron Fist.
You won't stop.
Iron Fist. So I don't know what the deal is with the Iron Fist. That's not Danny Rand.
No, that's a new guy. There's a new Iron Fist out there.
What?
Yeah, Mike, that's what happens when we don't read comics. We don't know what's going on. But I had to ask the same questions. I wasn't sure who that was. Like, that's not Danny Rand.
That's Robin.
Well, that's not bad for me.
I mean,
it's Robin with Iron Fist. What's up?
Right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm down with that.
Hey, Devontae Edwards is here to watch. What's up, Devontae? Say hi in the chat and tell me if you're one of the 13 or an earlier incarnation of my subscribers. So okay, tell me what is do you know? Do you have the down low? I don't want to do something wrong here. This is terrible. Putting this vest over this vest.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like he put a tank top over his vest. Is what this design looks like.
Okay. New Iron Fist. All right. Lin Lee is the new Iron Fist, taking over the role from Danny Rand in February 2022. That's how long it's been, Mike. Lee was previously known as Swordmaster and first appeared in Warriors of Three Sovereigns #1 in 2018. He became Iron Fist after losing the Sword of Fui in Iron Fist Volume 6, #1 in 2022.
He lost the Sword of Fui.
Maybe it's Fui.
Fui.
Fooie. So the new Iron Fist has different powers than Danny Rand and took an unconventional path to becoming Iron Fist. A version of the ancient Iron Fist is expected to appear in the MCU in the Black Panther series. Okay, whatever. That's all I got. Bud.
That's all you got?
Let me see. Maybe there's more.
What happened to Danny Rand? They're like, why you do martial arts, but you blonde hair white boy?
Maybe that was the whole thing to get rid of
them. You do martial arts, you white boy.
Maybe
Although Iron Fist is Chinese, so it would be a different accent.
Yeah, that's nice.
Emily Gruger, hail to you as well.
Let me see. Maybe
I've done zero marketing. I have not shared this out. Let me share this out. View on the tube. It's Christmas time.
Let's see what happened to Danny Rand.
Scrumping. Share to copy. And I'll paste it over here. No one's gonna want to watch if I keep singing. At everyone. Boop, ding. Send now. More boring drawing streams.
So I don't know what's going on with this guy. I can't seem to find.
You can't get nothing, huh?
Solid. Well, just in my casual look. Why did Danny Rand retire? After being crippled in a battle with the Juggernaut, Danny Rand retired as Iron Fist. Wow.
So yeah, this is like the only character where they use the also ran as the main character, as the character for Rivals. What's up, Amy Lester?
The who?
The also ran. You know what also ran is?
No.
It's a loser. It's a in first place, Garrett the dog. In second place, Snowspeeder. In third place,
Oh my god. He's just sitting there.
Lee
ear
Fui-
pecker, looky looky. Also ran Lin Lee. Lin Lee, he also ran, but he did not place. He's also ran.
Oh, are you talking about, like, are you doing a play on Danny Rand? Gotcha.
I
Okay.
was not, but that's pretty good.
Oh, there you
My
go.
mom won already, bro. Like,
Hold
You
on.
can have that.
hello? Like, even
Why does Donald Trump have wingtips on his side of his head? He's got Captain America wings.
What?
It's true. It's true. Everybody knows it.
So the question here, and I
Word.
wish there were some of the people who voted for Iron Fist in the chat so I could ask them this question. Do I go back to Danny Rand?
Well, that depends on how you take the charge of developing the character. If their character was supposed to be this character, you just got to redesign this character, because it's not Danny Rand Iron Fist. It's Lee Ling or whatever his name is.
Lin Lee.
Lin Lee.
Lin Lee.
Okay.
Lin Lee.
I got it backwards. I apologize.
You know
But
who
yeah,
I am? I am Lin Lee.
yeah. I thought you were gonna do. Do you have the? I'm Oriental.
I am. Take a good look at my face.
any HP.
I'm an Oriental.
Good look at my face. I'm an Oriental.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Wow. I didn't know how you really felt, Mike. Now
Elliot? You gonna name the kid Elliot?
I know. Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, this one should help you with it.
Nobody can compete with God.
Believe it!
It's true. It's true. Kevin Wolfork says, "Do your best representation of the Iron Fist."
I will do my best representation of the Iron Fist. Hellsmug says, "Hail all, hail, well met."
Well, there you go.
What am I going to do with this character?
Well, that's a good question. Let's talk about him. Let's see.
Yeah, because I don't know. I know Danny Rand.
Justice?
Well, you don't. I mean,
I thought
Danny
maybe this
Rand.
was like his half kid or something, or not half kid. How do you have a half kid?
Yeah. It's like having a quarter son. Yeah. I mean, really, you just here's how I look at it. I mean, was he Lee Ling or Lin Lee?
Lindley.
Lin Lee Iron Fist. Let's look up a picture of him. And he's kind of got like he's a little bit in some of these he's wearing like a Letterman's jacket, but it has a dragon on the side. That's actually a pretty nice piece of art by Inyuk Lee.
I can see it right
He's basically wearing the half of the mask, but it comes up at a peak.
You wear a half a mask. You wear a grifter mask now. You wear a grifter mask. Wait, and it peaks? What the heck?
Yeah, it comes up in a peak.
He's wearing a like when you take a bandana and you wrap it on your head and it's got the Pope hat thing.
What I want to know is how do you get the nose so pointy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way. I think he's. I think he looks pretty cool. I like him in that like a street look level, like he's wearing that one. I like that image a lot.
You like that image? Do you?
I like.
Do you
I like that he's
You like
wearing.
it?
You know what? You know what you could do.
What I
This
could
this,
do?
this is where I kind of think like maybe you take the idea of the jacket like that Wolverine and expand it further. But you guys do that all
Wait,
that
there's both of them. How's
Yeah.
that possible?
Well, I think Danny wanted to get his powers back or something.
Huh. Huh.
How come
Huh.
Alex Ross never paints the new guys? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But this, I don't care much for his design in most places. He's just a little overtly ornate for no reason. That collared costume he wears. It looks like he's got like a vest on.
These look like
I don't mind that version that they're showing there. It's just, I guess the real question is who is this guy? And I just read about brief thing about who he is, and then you got to ask, how can I incorporate that into his design?
yeah.
So in this green costume, he looks like he's wearing like a tunic, like a partial tunic there. Okay, you see it there.
Yeah.
And he's got his boots come up at an angle towards the outside of his legs. The top of the boot.
Oh, here we
comes
go.
up.
Here's the design. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at
So
something similar. And I like the asymmetry in the belt. I might just boost, like he's got like a leather thing on the side. Maybe that becomes like a higher mech tech deal. You can boost that up a little bit. That's your asymmetry. I don't care about the bands of leather. That's a very, I mean, by the time this guy gets dressed,
major weakness in the original didn't here. Is this the origin story? When I woke up on the shore outside Kunlun, I had no idea where I was or how I got there. He's not Japanese. I don't know why I'm doing this accent.
You just can't stop yourself.
All I knew was no, that's worse. That's not. My hands were in agony and embedded with shards of my sword. Chayo is sealed in 3 tombs, each one protected by the power of a divine weapon. When my father removed the sword, guarding Chayo's skull, part of the Dark Destroyer's power was released into the world.
Now you sound like Poe's dad from Kung Fu Panda.
That'll work. He's Chinese.
Yeah.
And now, thanks to me, I will try to do. I'll try to do my inner James Hong.
Or you can do Lo Pang.
Now, Lo Pang says that's James Hong too. Thanks to me, we might never be able to seal him up again. The sword of Foxy. Wait, hold on a minute. This is a Marvel book. Why you have a Foxy book, Foxy? It's my duty. The sword of Foxy. What the heck is my duty, my identity? What good is a sword master without his sword? There you are. Oh, so he's got pieces of sword in his hands. Therefore, he binds his hands. So I can't not have his hands bound.
Okay. Why does he bind them though? If he's
because he's got chunks of his sword sticking out of his hands.
It's not going to solve. It's not going to solve it. It's not like he's wearing a shielded arm, unless you give him like some kind of gauntlets that shield his, like something he wears over. Maybe it's a floating, like arm. It's like a partial floating shield gauntlet thing.
I'm gonna make him look like what's his face? Lee.
Bruce Lee?
No. Lee from Naruto.
Who's Lee from Naruto?
Hold on.
Why not Sasuke?
No.
That's the only one I got. That's the only character I know in that is Sasuke.
Lee. This guy. He's got the.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No, that's not a. Come on. It's not gonna be better.
This is a better than Lingley or Linley.
You're just a pro-Japanese guy.
This is Rockly. Oh, he's not Japanese.
Differently.
Differently. This is Rockly. Rockly has no powers. Rockly only has intense training.
Broccoli has iron.
Awesome. Because he's like super fast and super strong. And like you see under his leggings here, he wears weights under the leggings.
Oh.
And so that was one of the awesome things is he's like fighting Naruto. Naruto does have powers, right? And he's like they're playing to a draw or they're fighting to a draw. And then his teacher goes, Rock Lee, take off the weights. And then he drops the weights and he's like, wait, he was wearing weights this whole time. I love Naruto. It's great.
I almost bought a figure today. Well, I did. I just priced it to see what I don't have the money for all that. But I was looking at a Naruto from SH Figure Arts.
Mm-hmm.
There's like one where he's older, wearing the gray and red. I'm gray and orange, and then it's just the regular orange one suit. Man, that looked good. He could change his face out. It was pretty cool.
What's the
SH Figure Arts Naruto?
Figure Arts.
Figure Arts. There you go.
Fig Arts.
Figure Arts. Yeah, that's another way to say it.
Which one?
It's the one. It's the one in the middle right there.
This.
The one that he's like doing the pose with the fingers.
Oh, they're all up there.
I don't know. I don't see your cursor.
The one I've highlighted.
Where?
This.
No, not that one. That's the older one. That's when he's a little older, and it's cool because the figure's a little taller than the one when he's younger. I thought that was kind of.
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, I saw both of them. They were at Target today.
Oh. Nine tails,
that
baby.
ugly Christmas sweater. Look at that. Cool.
This is you can get this from Mark Dice. It's Trumpet Claus, Santa Trump. I don't know how you'd say it.
Trumpet Claus.
As soon as I get my belly.
Rock Lee's drunken style fighting is hilarious, says Jean Lange. Thank you, Jean. John Mintz says, I am not left-handed. Lee is a great character. Yes. Jean says he's not Japanese. He's from Konohagakure. Konohagakure.
What does that mean?
Doko desu ka Konohagakure? I don't know. But it sounds like a Japanese name for a place. Not to be confused with broccoli.
That's what I was saying the whole time. All I hear is broccoli. It has lots of iron. Get it? Iron Fist?
Broccoli. Iron Fist, broccoli.
Now, you could go with Broly. You can make it look like Broly. Broly is broccoli from Dragon Ball. The character.
His faces are rad. Man, I want to watch Naruto all over again now.
I've never seen it.
It's so good.
I think I told you before. I seen one of the movies, and I liked it. It was one of the better animated features, but I didn't. It's the one where he's fighting on the lake or whatever, or the river.
Oh, that is such a great fight.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was great. That was him versus Sasuke.
Yeah. That's when I first learned of said Sasuke.
So good. I hear the music in my head looking at these.
All right, but you're not helping yourself out
These
here.
faces is awesome.
Oh, I know.
That's right. That's rad. I am helping myself. You know why? Because I think Lin Lee could use some Naruto influence.
Okay. All right. I want to see that. But is that going to make him better? Are you
he's not going to be wearing a tank top over his vest.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying is all. I'm
just pointing it out.
You know what? Iron Fist would be cool if you just blinded him. You use the mask to just blind his eyes. Then he has to go by sense of
That would be cool. What if you had
proprioception.
the characters that say Iron Fist across the eyes on a bandana on a blindfold, and then you just have the Chinese characters that say Iron Fist across. So now he's a cool other type of thing. I like that idea. I like expanding. Although I think if you're gonna do Iron Fist, that the pseudo Spider-Man eyelets are a little iconic for him. So
That's true.
I don't know.
What kind of fighting style or tradition does Iron Fist use?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. What is the temple that he's trained at?
Kunlun,
Kunlun Do, probably.
probably.
Kevin says comic
Oh my
fu.
gosh! I just.
Comic food.
Or if we go by the lore here, it's
Wait.
Foxy Do.
Oh my gosh! I do so much damage.
The sword of Foxy is his. Oh gosh, why did they name it that? They just did that to
What about
Africa.
Fooey? Didn't I read Fooey the whole time earlier?
Fooey.
I thought I read that.
X-
Fooie. It's not in there? Maybe it's something else.
Oh, I think that's G. Fuck G. Fuzzy. Fuzzy? Fuji? It's bougie.
The Fugees?
It's Fuji.
Fujila?
Fuji.
Now, I will say I don't
It's
mind that costume.
Fuji.
I like the costume in general. What about that weird ornamental stuff on the side of his legs, though? I don't like that too much. He's got it on his shoulder and he's got it on his legs and on the Rivals version. But I kind of like what they're doing on the regular costume. What does the dragon look like on there?
It looks like Rand's dragon, except for it's kind of sideways. A little more Game of Thronesy. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to actually incorporate the dragon a little better.
Would you give him facial hair as an update?
No.
Why not?
Why?
I don't know.
Why? I don't like the pointy thing on his thing. If you're gonna give him the mask, just give him the mask. Or I could just straight up give him the grifter mask.
Oh, I was gonna say, give him the Gambit mask.
Gambit.
The same thing. Oh, you mean
Gambit mask.
Grifter?
Grifter.
Oh, that's a cool idea. The Grifter mask. That's basically the same mask, just without the full face covering.
Right?
Yeah. That's a
You
cool
know, the
idea.
the grifter mask is actually the design of the original Mark of Zorro. That's in the book. That's how his mask is described.
Yeah.
Except it's black, obviously.
Where have I seen that at? I've seen it depicted. Oh, I think
It
there was
it was in a really old movie.
Hey.
Zorro had that mask.
Really?
I think so. A
Huh.
TV show or something.
By the way, I'm taking that idea about the gas, the scarecrow gas, for my superhero guy.
I thought I trademarked that on show.
No, you
on the
didn't. I
show,
did.
live
I
on the
did.
show. I said
did
trademark.
it live. I did it live.
I said tag. That's it.
That's the problem. You were playing tag. I was copyrighted.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does look like he's got just bandaged up hands. I like this one because it's got he's got padding under his wraps, which is like
Is that Lionel Yu?
lineal.
Lineal Yu? Is that how you say it? Lineal Yu?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
I had lunch with
That's
him way
cool.
back.
He seems like a nice fella.
Yeah. He is a nice fella. Great artist too.
I love Jay Lee. Jay Lee, and I
Jay's
miss.
a great guy too.
I wish I haven't been to a convention so long out there. I haven't seen McGinnis in a long time.
I know. I haven't seen him again since I stopped doing cons.
I was just becoming friends and buddies with him, and then it's all gone. Now I just got to say, you know, Mike Miller? No? Okay.
Wait, what?
Now I just have to name drop you, but you don't talk to him no more either. So guess what?
Yeah. I
forgot.
occasionally exchange emails and be like, "Hey, we gotta call. I gotta talk. We gotta talk." Like, yeah, we gotta talk. Yeah, and we don't talk.
You
I don't know
wanna
what to do. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to work it out like on paper. Or
What's
on,
that? The costume?
on tablet. Yeah.
Well, then work it out.
Maybe I will.
This could be your workout video, like Jane Fonda, and then you can put it. You can finalize it on your next video for the for your channel.
That's not how I do things.
No,
No,
that's how I do things.
I will
Well,
work it out on the video.
live. Well, let's do it now.
I will. Don't tell me what to do, young lady.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm a copywriter. Second of all, what?
Tag copywritten. 38.
I was on base. You can't copyright outs on base.
Oh man.
Well, that's part of my role within Blacklist Universe, right? Is just come up with some ideas. There you go.
Yeah,
You can have it.
that's right.
You can have it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yo, where's my team?
All right.
Oh, wow.
Procreate. Oh, dang it.
Oh
That's
my
the wrong
gosh,
button.
what's the
What am I doing
lead
here?
button?
Where am I going? I need. Has to be in the right folder because I don't want to get all jarbly marbly all over the place with these things. Oh, there
Good
we
old
go.
jarbly marbly.
Wait, that's really good.
No, not photo. I don't want a photo. I want a 11 by 17.
John Mintz says maybe some inspiration from the Man with the Iron Fists movie. That was an interesting idea.
And they're just targeting me.
That
I'm
was with
up.
RZA, right?
Was
that
it?
Was that RZA from Wu-Tang Clan?
I don't
Kevin
know.
Wolford says maybe Dynamite Zorro comics. Yeah, maybe that's where I saw it. No. You know what? There was a Zorro that Sean Gordon Murphy did.
Yeah.
And it was updated and it was really interesting. It was his
they're gonna get it.
interpretation of it. I liked it. It was like it was still
Hello.
over
Why are
the
you
top.
AFK? Why are you AFK?
Wow.
No, El Spocho, bro.
He's very excited.
What? Is he speaking other languages? Is he speaking in tongues?
Like,
What's going on
they're
over there?
not doing anything.
No, he's just babbling really loudly, yelling
Oh.
things and stuff.
I thought you said, "Oh,
Um,
Groucho."
You go
I've
on
never
Iron
seen this
Man,
movie.
Child of Iron Man.
The Man with the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it, but it had Batista in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was all right. It was okay. When you're wealthy enough and you can make dumb movies, go for it.
I'm going to.
Right. When
That's my plan. That's my whole plan.
not to make dumb movies, I hope.
Oh, wait, let's see how I'm doing. Oh, almost to 500 views for this movie. Ah,
Wow.
Tati Gabriel. Look what they could have had. Look what they could have had. Instead, they didn't get this either. All right, let's see. I'm going to have to drag this somewhere else. I need a third monitor, you know?
That's not that hard.
I know. I just
You can get
saying.
a cheap one.
I was just saying is all.
Just say it then. Just
I
say it.
just said it. I just said it. Look at that. 12,288 subscribers. Thank you to my 13. That's my thing. My guys are the 13. Those who joined before I get 13,000 subscribers. All right, I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna get back
It's
over here,
Christmas time.
and I'm gonna open up OBS and start recording.
Shoot. Wait, I'm one. I need to do
Dragon Kung Fu makes me think of Dragon Shiryu from
Hello?
something.
Teammates?
I couldn't see that.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Run normally. I don't care. if
I
it's
was sitting there
closed.
for 0 HP for at
Oops.
least 6-7 seconds.
It's Christmas time. I didn't. I just. How did that? Sorry.
What's that?
A thing with the stuff wasn't repopulating correctly. All right, come on.
Dang it.
Why is my computer acting like this? Is it
I don't know. My computer's acting weird too. Maybe there's a Y2K virus going around.
Oh my gosh. Y2K24? Oh no, Y2K25, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's already a quarter century.
Since Y2K? That
Well,
is
just since 2000.
yeah, that would be Y2K.
No, Y2K. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Y2K was supposed to be the virus.
I got Iron Man.
Right. For the year
Dang it, bro.
to
My team is.
Oh, maybe Wolfric says maybe some sold inspiration from the kid with the golden arms movie. That's a different one. Wait, that was that guy that
kid with the golden arms. What?
that was
All right, I'm already recording.
there was a one guy that, but those were just like that guy was just dressed up. I was gonna say maybe something from the Five Deadly Venoms. Ooh,
Do you have something you'd like to share with the class?
or maybe you know how in the Five Deadly Venoms they wore masks that were
No.
like. Do you ever watch
I
the
never
Five
saw
Deadly
it.
Venoms? Are you kidding me? You've never seen the Five Deadly Venoms?
Whoa, what happened, bro?
Well, you think just because I'm Oriental, I have to see every Oriental movie ever made?
It's just one of the greatest kung fu movies of all time.
Okay.
I think it's a Shaw Brothers movie,
I'm
right?
sure
They're all
it's better than Meals on Wheels.
Wow. Okay. Righto. Wow. Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres. That was mighty Caucasian of you. Oh, well.
Jean Non says, those Hong Kong Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movies are very entertaining. The best Kung Fu movie is Kung Fu Hustle. And I will not hear otherwise.
Never saw it.
You never saw Kung Fu Hustle? For shame. Elliot
What else?
Hernandez, you are a terrible Oriental.
Well, that's funny you should say that because I'm Puerto Rican. Well, you know, for the children. It's Christmas time. You got me singing that
in
song
your
right
head
now.
now, yeah, right?
I'll tell you what I was singing yesterday. I was watching so I'm on this Steve Perry kick. Man, that guy could sing, man. He was incredible. Steve Perry, the lead singer of Journey.
Hold strong.
I thought you meant Perry Cuomo.
Michael.
It's Christmas time.
How you gonna make me take? I can't take you seriously like this. What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to come up with a good kung fu pose for my. See, the thing is, I want to do that, but I want. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. I can do something like that.
I like doing a 2-finger death touch. I like that sound effect that would use. I don't know what they were thinking was going to be the deal, but that with just the fingertips, that was awesome. I used to crack up with that nonsense. Oh, so good. Now I've got to transfer this drawing over. How am I going to do this?
It's transfer time.
You ever print from your iPad?
No, I have this freaking issue with my printer.
Me too. Okay, so I'm gonna.
You have an issue with my printer?
Yes, I can't connect with it.
I know, right?
Sucks, mate.
I get you. I hear you. I'm right there.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with the government.
Wow.
I'm undercover. Who made you undercover? I did. It doesn't work that way.
What you talking about?
It's my blue heaven. Look how easy it is to do a cool kung fu pose.
You're saying it's easy?
Yeah. It's peaceful.
Oh, what a feeling.
It's like
Toyota.
it's like second
Does
nature.
that ever happen to you? Like random old cartoon jingles pop in your head?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Yeah, see? It's ridiculous. My brain just goes there. All right, I'm going to try to print.
Insane in the membrane. No brain. Insane in the brain. Insane in the brain.
Okay.
Insane got no brain.
Bro, Alexa's such an e-girl sound.
Let's see if I can pull this off.
Well, sometimes I just scribble some legs and I go, man, those are freaking good legs right there.
Jump back and kiss myself.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see, work, permissions. In the world. That's all I got. Why is this not working?
Look, I just did that with his fingers.
What happened to my deal?
Oh no. Kung Fu Hustle has my favorite fight scene, the first one.
Isn't Kung Fu Hustle a comedy?
There's comedy in it. So yes, it's funny, but it's a kung fu movie. It's a perfect film. It is a perfect film.
Okay.
Don't laugh. Don't. What did I just say? Why aren't you listening to me? I'm being
rude. I know.
Now you're just being rude.
I am being very rude. You're right.
So rude. Oh my gosh.
My bad.
Another thing, Iron Fist shouldn't be like all bulky. He shouldn't be like, oh look, it's the Hulk. No, it's Iron Fist. Iron Fist should be athletic, but not huge. You can't be a huge. Well, I guess you can if you're Bolo.
Well, you can be. He can be big
Bolo?
guy. You know,
Bolo
there's a style called Hungar in Kung Fu, and it's meant for big guys, like larger, usually more rotund fellows. But it actually is a style of Kung Fu that has a little bit of like a karate. Like, you know how karate is very strong and
How come
force?
you'll say Kung Fu honoring the Chinese, but you say karate, totally ignoring the Japanese?
Because the cologne was called high karate.
I'm offended.
Well, my bad.
No. It's fine. It's fine. He's clearly respects Chinese more than you Japanese. That's fine.
Karate? You mean?
Thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
Karate?
Hello. Is anyone playing this game?
Or kurataki?
Can I get a hit? Oh my
Brush pens?
I'm gonna crash out.
This is what gets frustrating to me. I intended for this image to be a certain size. It's not. Why not? Let's try this again. Maybe I printed it the wrong way. Okay.
There's like measurements and things in those.
I know. I designed the file to be the correct. Let's try this again. Let me see if I can make this work.
Bro, as soon as they see me, it's like on site for them, bro. Like,
in the world,
it's Christmas time. Something.
Help, heal me. I can't even peek, bro. They just
Okay.
straight counters to me. All of their operators are countering me.
All right, here's his fist, and it is iron.
I'm trying to leave that.
More settings. Why is this working like this?
Sure. Now it
Why
just
is it
makes it
like
look
that?
like his fist is way too big.
Why did I say it that way?
Sure.
I've heard that much of that like they use different parts of their mouth and neck
Sure.
to make sounds. They do different. I like watching those videos where those people go to those salons, I guess, and they get their acne communicated.
Extricated.
And I'm always impressed at the way that the people talk.
Sure.
But they do a lot more. They talk.
Oh, those are Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm impressed though. It's like they're using a lot. I wonder how I'd like to learn a little bit more about their language though, because it's very interesting to me that they use more of their mouth to say words. But I'm sure it's not quite that simple. Well, I like what I'm seeing so far, Michael.
That's
I'm
what
digging
I'm
that, dog. What do you call that? Those muscles that go across the ribs?
Punisher.
Serratus anterior.
Serratus anterior. Yeah. You've done this to me before.
Yeah. This is latissimus dorsi here. Serratus anterior. Obliques. Oh, this is ribs, but this is the obliques.
Doctor Strange. That's what we need. Yeah.
All right. I've got a pose. Anyone oppose my pose? I don't think Iron Fist is actually going to do that well as a video. But it's what you people in the chat voted for.
I was going to say they voted for it, right?
Yep. Thank you, Metal Movies and Brewskis says good pose.
Yeah, it is a good pose.
Well, I do know.
You should give him the Phoenix Eye like Jet Li did in The One. Was it The One? I think it was The One.
Loki is good. He's a lovable boy.
The One, that was supposed to be Jet Li's last movie, right?
Maybe.
He's like, I'm retiring after this to go be a monk. Oh crap! I need money. Monks apparently need money.
What did he do after he did that? When did he do When did he do that one that it was like a big? Oh man, what was that movie he did where it was like a big production?
Can you read this one?
How did both of those miss? And what miss?
No. I will not. I will not do. All this shamboozlery.
I've been bamboozled.
Oh, wait.
So what I always liked Danny Rand is that he wore the kung
Punisher
fu
two-shot me.
shoes, just the little slip-on shoes,
Broken,
right? So good.
Yeah, but they were kind of femme.
Well, he could wear these ones instead. You know,
you should give him.
These are the ones that Bruce Lee wore in all his movies.
So you know what I think you should do?
Can get at any Chinatown in America. Get these little shoes.
I think you should do them. That's where you should do like a techie version of it. Like maybe they have like little pieces that come off on the front, like Iron Man sometimes has had in the past. Like maybe there's like the heel. You ever seen those shoes that have like the heel comes up and over the back of the heel, the sole rather? You can have like the grippy things on there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Lily's Sketchpad by Force One Studios says, "Holy smokes! How did I not get the notification about this video? I don't know."
What? Oh,
I know.
what's going on? Force One in the house.
Yeah, and when did we have a team? Oh yeah, never. Like where? Are they?
For some reason, Metal Movies and Brisky says Expendables 2. Oh, Jet Li.
I'm looking for my.
Oh
teammate.
yeah, he did
It's
Expendables
not
too.
there.
But there was another
Not
movie he did though.
Dispendables, Expendables.
Like they're
Is that
just
right?
always.
Oh
dead.
yeah, Hero. That was it. Kevin Wolfhard. Hero was the movie he did.
They just
I'm
go
gonna
in there,
move him
die,
back a
go
little
in
bit.
there, die, go in there, die. They're just on their body.
That.
And this guy just doesn't.
There
fit
we
in.
go. Give him a little hitch in the back. Oh yeah, that's better. Right?
Huh? What?
Now he's back more. His back is like this.
Yeah, I like that. He looks real solid, man. That's pretty cool.
Carlos.
All right. Now's the hard part.
Coming
Coming up with some sort of a costume. All right. So this will be my base. Boom. There's my base. Now costume time. It's costume time.
Costume time.
You know what I'm gonna do? If he's got to strap his arms because he's got little shards of swords in his arms, then it seems like just wrapping him with simple arm wraps is a little goofy. I'm gonna give
It's
him like some
counterproductive,
legit-
right?
I'm gonna give him like bands.
Bands.
Yeah, sort of like
No,
straps,
Like strappy straps.
strappy straps.
really? That's-
Like just
I'm
more-
saying I think he should wear like
400 damage.
see the problem is that it's not protecting him. Anything he's wearing on the skin is not going to help him because if he's wearing it to protect him from to keep him getting hurt, it's not going to work.
But that's what I'm saying. The straps would be like belts basically.
Yeah, but it's still hurting him, right? Because it's digging in, it's pushing the shards deeper into his skin.
I think
So
he's
what's
over that part.
So why is he wearing them? The bands.
I didn't write it.
Quick!
I'm saying that maybe he uses it to his advantage.
Hurry up!
Well, maybe he doesn't want him to fall out because they gave him superpowers.
Dang it, Michael.
What? If I had a bunch of shrapnel on my arm, I'd probably go to the doctor and be like, you know what? I don't trust doctors, but you probably want to take these out.
That sounds like a joke. like you.
What?
We're crazy. We're crazy.
Oh no.
I don't
Anyway,
get- I don't
no,
get
I'm
it.
with you. I'm with you.
What are you,
All
what
right.
are you saying? Why? What's
We're
he
crazy.
saying? What's so funny?
We're crazy.
Thomas says, "Hey, Elliot, just won the auction on 2 of your art pieces, hoping to win a couple more." Oh my
Hey,
gosh, dude.
yo, very nice.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, my auctions were doing pretty good, man. I'm gonna be doing some more of those. Yeah. And I mean, they're quicker drawings, but they look not. Actually, they're not quicker drawings. I'm actually putting a little too much time into them, but they look good. So I'm glad that he's getting a nice piece of artwork with my work on there. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing but a thing. All right, I'm gonna give him like that, and then I'm gonna give
All right,
him
Mike.
some wrist
This is what
gauntlet.
the art looks
thing.
like.
Nice.
It's gonna go on the sketch cover.
Why are
That's
you
it.
printing it?
Because I'm putting it on the on the G.I. Joe sketch cover. So I'm going to do the reverse thing where I draw over I'm going to put graphite on the back.
Ah, cheater.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
then
Cheater.
transfer it onto the cheater.
What? I didn't. What?
You just call what? What the
What
holiday?
What in the heck you trying to do?
What in the holiday hoobie whatty?
I said this way, I can still give him the bandages because for some reason he has bandages, but also a little bit of like beefing up his arm. Right?
Right. Precisely.
Now the question is, should I crisscross the straps? It would make them look a little cooler if I crisscrossed them. Right?
All right. Am I the only one alive?
That would be cool. It'd be really cool if they crisscrossed and left a diamond pattern in the middle. You know what I mean?
What do we got to do?
Like if it was like a braid instead.
A diamond pattern like this.
Yeah. That's great. That's good. And then you can go with the color. That could be a nice spot for, like, it could be yellow bands with the green in the middle. If you're gonna go with that interpretation. I have some graphite, I have some transfer paper. I'm gonna grab it real quick. Give me a second. I'm still in the room.
Can I please get a pic, bro? Like,
So I can't mock you.
Exactly.
Okay. It's Christmas time. And the time is Christmassy.
And I have this. It's practically brand new. I never used it. This is just for a moment like this.
Yeah. All right.
Transfer paper.
On the streets, crazy.
Kevin says something like
It's not even
hand
open yet,
coat.
like, killing me instantly.
What you call my mama?
Mike, rings like the fairy in Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh, the Punisher is actually broken.
No, because that's like the. What do they do? The Five Rings. What was that show? Chun Li or something? Not Chun Li.
You mean their first movie?
Yeah, what was that character? What
No.
Sammy?
It wasn't a cartoon. It was
No,
the
it was
actual
a
movie.
movie. Yeah, the Five
Yeah.
Rings. What was that movie? I
The
mean, what was
movie?
it called? Shang-Chi. Thank you. I was trying to think of the character.
Yeah. I got you.
All right, so he's gonna have these on both hands because
the Punisher
for some
is
reason
actually
both of his
busted,
hands
bro.
are also wrapped. So
Yeah,
My son is playing
I know,
Marvel Rivals. If you can't tell.
they put like gayest operators, like
Yeah, I think I hear it.
Hanzo, like what's her name, Scarlet. And then they swapped the Penny group, like come on, bro.
30 to 50 pouches.
Like there's like no counter to it.
No. I'm gonna give him a grifter mask
Yeah, I like that idea.
since the design of his eyes came before grifter. Grifter stole it.
Kind of. I do declare.
Does the players. Plus, this would protect him from microviruses floating in the air. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you were gonna go there. I wasn't sure. See, I would have taken it. I would take that and like tuck it into a strap on like something. He would close it down with. Grifter did the same thing though.
No, I'm good.
Wow.
So, and I'll try to stick with whatever kind of hairstyle he had, which is just kind of short, cropped, black. It's black, right? He's an Oriental.
They can color their hair.
Not if you don't want to dishonor your family. You don't.
What are you talking
Of
about?
course, he's Chinese, not Japanese.
You can't color your hair in Japan.
It's fine. It's fine. You can do whatever you want.
Are you doing like a Are you trying to be funny, Mike?
I don't have to try. It just
Wow.
it just comes naturally. See? See? Huh?
Yeah, I
Huh?
guess you're right.
It comes
guess you're right.
naturally.
You like to do three. What?
So you like the. Here's the thing. And when I took Kung Fu, we didn't have belts, but we did have these sashes. This is when I took Wushu.
Mm-hmm,
And the sashes would tie like this and then have a bunch of different straps like this. It's kind of cool. So this wasn't a big thing. It was like a bunch of individual, like not threads, but ropes that tied my total sash on. So I'm going to give him that. Just because it's.
When did you take Wushu Kung Fu?
When I lived in Portland. My teacher, Sifo Shaolin, was actually, he grew up with Jet Li. He's got pictures in his office of them, like from being little kids all the way through the system to when they were, I think they competed in the Olympics or something like that.
What? That's cool.
Yeah. Then, I don't know. I almost feel like going back to the Danny Rand costume. Maybe.
See, one of the things I love about Iron Fist is that collar. Man, I know it's cheesy and it's dated, but I love it.
How about hammer time?
Let's see.
I don't think I could give him a collar with what I'm doing. I honestly, I swear, I just want to leave him like that with no shirt.
Yeah, but that's not gonna. The whole idea in that game is the mech tech stuff. You need some kind of.
Right. All right.
Weird.
So I have to incorporate the mech tech into the bands.
Okay, yeah. Or you can do it like they did Namor.
What they do with Namor?
Give him like big giant shoulder things.
No.
That'd be cool for the dragon to be on his shoulder like that. That'd be pretty dope-alicious.
The dragon. I'm gonna do another layer for the dragon. What if the dragon? If the dragon is part of his curse, or not part of his power, like the dragon became.
What if he emits it? Or what if it comes out? What if it comes out like this? Like he's got it like that, like he's pushing the fist out, and then the dragon emerges from the mouth of the dragon, comes out of his fist, like a hologram. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. Like it's like
Yeah,
like the tattoos coming alive.
Well, that's what Hanzo does in Overwatch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, then don't do it.
All right, I won't. But how if I take the dragon and I give him a solid structure like this, right? That goes around his body and then back up. Let's see, go around. No, maybe if it pokes out of his thing, it doesn't look right. But then I do the separations so it's not just a solid black thing.
Oh, that's interesting. If you gave the yes, that's a good idea.
And then I could mech tech up these things up. So they're like.
Oh, that's interesting. Like if you had little gadget like techie pieces coming on each piece.
Well, sometimes mech tech doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it never makes sense.
Right. But if you give it a 3-dimensionality, it makes the fist bulkier, right? Which makes it seem like more of a threat than. I think they were actually trying to do that with the character by making his fist like super bulky, you know.
What if we only had one fist? It was.
He only has one hand.
No, like doesn't he have?
Like it's not Iron Fists.
It isn't.
It's just the one.
It's true.
Right.
It's true. So true.
And then I could give him a. It's not like a robotic fist. It's just that his hands are banded.
Band in the hand.
Because I just kind of want to leave his chest open. Is that wrong? Is that wrong to me?
No.
I can add the mech tech to the to his belt too, just because it's. Just because it's there. And then something a little beefier for shoes. Let's see if this makes any sense when I'm done.
You know what, Mike?
I
want to make some beef jerky.
Beef jerky.
So then I can say I'm going to send it to you and then forget to.
Really? Are we going to do this right now?
Yeah. 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 I'm still a little sore about that.
But you told me, you said, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it.
I did, but that was just.
And now you know what you're doing? You're going back on your don't worry about it.
I know.
You're a don't worry about it Indian giver.
I prefer Native American.
Native American giver? Well, that seems to be a bit of a slight on Native Americans, isn't it?
Well,
should it be a Hindi giver?
I was just going to say maybe that's a better way to go. Okay, so now I saw McFarlane's new.
Jimmy
Sorry,
Cricket's making cracks here. Dang, how small is that guy? That Dragon's brand took up half his body.
Word.
I didn't know it had to be a specific size because I've seen it vary.
No, I think that's cool. I think it looks like it's almost like, well, that's a little bit of you coming through. You're like the Yakuza style all over tattoo. Yeah. But I like the idea of like a full tattoo like that.
Yeah, you hear that, Jiminy? Shut up.
Jimmy, I didn't say shut up.
For Elliot. Elliot's too gentle of a soul to put you in your place.
Metal Movies called me an indigenous giver. That's funny.
Do an 80s polo with a popped collar.
Like an Izod shirt.
Yeah.
What? My bullet just went around.
All right, I'm gonna try. What do you think? Should I try and ink this? See what it looks like?
You know, you should give them bulkier feet though. Like remember that one kung? You don't remember because you don't watch them. Because there was that one kung fu film where the guy had put on weights on his ankles on the
Rock Lee.
and he had to jump out of this hole.
Hey, Muerte! Look at that. I got your sweater on.
Muerte, what's
Christmas
up?
time.
Look at that.
Ho, ho, ho.
Mike, you're not fooling anybody.
All right. Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi.
Wow. No.
No?
Is that Nancy Pelosi with a beard? Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm saying ho, ho, ho.
So Jiminy says, I love the design, but the idea is that the Iron Fist bearer gets the dragon burned onto the chest when they physically embrace the dragon. Yeah, but like
yeah, but this isn't that guy. This guy's a fraud.
This is true.
I love the sweater, Muerte.
Yeah, I love it too. That's pretty cool.
For those of you who don't know, Muerte and I went to lunch together today. Johnny B's, La Mesa, California. Check it out. Good burgers. What's up, Abigail?
I want to eat lunch in California.
Do it.
I
So you want them to have bigger shoes than I like having
no, like just something bigger on the like when if he's gonna do those kicks, you know how Fei Long in Street Fighter does that thing where he twists and he it's like a whirlwind kick. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I'm just saying he needs some kind of thing that's gonna help him like boost that kick. Or maybe there's some sort of like what do you call that? Some sort of propulsion system on the arm, like a Gundam. Like he hits real hard with that.
But that's not his power, right?
His power is that he just has the iron fists.
Right.
But we're trying to enhance him with the mech tech. We're trying to give it some function.
Oh, right. This is supposed to be sort of like I understand the mythology here is that some sort of a clash between Doom and Doom 2099, and so somehow it's supposed to be a combination of those eras, which is why they all look mech'd out.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what I hear.
That's what you heard?
That's what I heard. So
I don't know about that.
I don't know nothing about birth no babies.
Whoa. Hey-o. Hey-o.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Remember in was it Kumite where he had the glass in the the wraps?
Wasn't that Bloodsport?
Was it Bloodsport?
Yeah, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Jean.
Whatever.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The last people I'm worried about offending are the French or Canadians.
What about the French Canadians?
Them less so.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. He will come and do a split on your face.
That's gross. That's the worst thing I ever heard in my life.
Straight. Jean-Claude is hard to draw. I also hear it's hard for him to draw a crowd.
Oh!
Oh, hey, oh. Hey, oh.
My favorite thing about Jean-Claude Van Damme is when he played the background character in Breakin'. Just give me that beat, or Breakin' 2, whichever one it was.
Oh, that's
No,
that.
it's in
that's
Breakin'.
that meme.
Yeah, that was a real. I think that might have been one of his first roles.
Really?
Yeah. He was the background guy for. He was doing his goofy stiff dance that he does.
Dude, that dance is a classic. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's terrible.
What are you hating? Why are
Hey,
you
I'm
such
telling
a
you,
hater.
because I hate terribleness.
Uh,
Why do you sound like my wife?
I don't know. Muerta says, "Hey, Elliot."
What's up, Morty? I said hello earlier, but Mike
Kirby,
spoke
Kirby.
over me.
Oh, that was Kirby. Kirby said John Claude is hard to draw. Well, don't draw him then. Jean Lons says Jean Claude Van Damme is Belgian, so you should be even less afraid of offending him. Belgium's barely even a country.
I just tried to explain to Muerta that I said hello earlier, but you spoke over me. As I'm saying that, you spoke over me.
Well,
I just said it.
go ahead.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna ink it. I'm tired of your mocking.
You're gonna ink it.
I'm gonna ink it, stink it. I
Why?
don't know how I'm gonna do this so that I can see all my layers at once. I think maybe this one's too dark, too bright, too dark. All right. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, inks are permanent. So once I throw down a line, I cannot fix anything.
You sound like you're setting people up for a magic trick. This is permanent. But whatever you do not do this at home.
Correct.
It's the old look at my other hand trick.
Nothing up my sleeves. What are you doing?
I'm dabbing my graphite with my kneaded eraser. What's wrong with you? Have you never heard of this before?
No, I don't cheat when I draw.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I did the whole drawing
Mhm.
in Procreate, and I just transferred that drawing onto here.
Mhm.
Whatever. Shut your mouth. All right. Wow. Jerk. And then you have this like mischievous laugh to go with it. Yeah. Jerk. Jerk squared. All right. Dr. Detroit.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of luck with you. I mean, if you're gonna give Iron Fist some sort of mech tech, it should be on his fists, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but he's like a full service fighter, you know?
Because he's not really Iron Fist, is he?
No, it's not. That's why he needs help.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the best reason for the Iron Fist stuff of all time.
Iron Fist mech tech stuff. Mecha tech. Now, don't you love those gloves that you can like punch cement with? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
They're these gloves and they have like steel lining and the knuckles and I don't know. I don't even know what they're made out of, but they're like I see people just like punching, like you can punch holes in walls and stuff, and run over them with your car, and it's like armor, but it's a little black glove. No, you never seen these?
No, but have you seen the new glove that has flashlights on it?
No.
There's an advertisement on YouTube all the time, and it's these two gloves you wear so that you never need to hold a flashlight anymore. There's a flashlight, an LED light on your top of your thumb and on your index finger.
Oh, I have seen those.
That's great. What a great invention.
All right. Trademark.
It's already done.
Damn. One of these
Dang it,
days
Michael.
that'll work.
Dang it, Michael. Dang it. I like this idea of the transfer paper, but I feel like I'm drawing twice.
Yeah.
Well, this would be the third time I'm drawing this, actually.
Sometimes it's better just to do things the right way.
Oh, I didn't want to do that for this.
You're too concerned about getting likenesses.
No, I just wanted to make sure I got it proportionally right. You know, also, I tend to like when I do sketch covers. Sometimes I draw too large.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't. I'm figuring stuff out on the thing, and these covers are a little precious, so I don't want to waste what I have.
Yeah. Do you remember the Marvel sketch cards market? Did you ever do any of those?
Yeah, I did stuff for Cryptozoic. I did an Avengers one. I did Dangerous Divas one time. Was all the female characters.
Okay, so you didn't do any for Tops, or not Tops? Is it? What was the other one?
Well, one was Cryptozoic, was one of the companies that had the Marvel license at the time. There was a Upper Deck.
Upper Deck. That's the one. Yeah.
I did it for Upper Deck. As a matter of fact.
Did you do the like the earlier ones where they had the like dark red border?
I don't remember. I did what I did was pre the MCU stuff. So I didn't have any of the.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they had that. I think that was for the MCU set.
It was pre-MCU, right?
I don't know. I'm saying that I thought that was
right.
I remember
So they had dark red. They had a dark red border on them. Those things, if you never did, you know how they send you APs?
Yeah.
If you never did those for, I don't know if it's still a thing, but for a while, the blanks were going for hundreds of dollars because they were so rare.
Oh, wow. I have a few sketch cards in my.
You should look around and see if you have those.
I don't think so. I think I worked on those already. But I didn't have a movie when I had just the regular comic version.
Yeah, these came out before Iron Man 2.
Okay.
And there was the Iron Man 2 set, and I remember that.
You check. I think I have those here. What do I have? I have blank ones that I made myself. I cut up myself. I have blanks for the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
I have one of those.
I have a couple from the Tarzan set I worked on. They're from the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate. And that's all I got. That's all I have left. I've done other cards for other people before. I did a set for DC. I did a set for Batman specifically. I remember I did Wonder Woman. It's all gravy. Just the good old days when I actually worked as an artist.
Now you're sitting in your garage.
No, hopefully I'll be selling appliances like dishwashers and freezers.
Making the gravy the only way to know how.
I'm a little melancholy about it, man. I feel like an era is going by. I'm kind of semi-retired from art.
Melancholy.
Oh well.
Call it a breather.
I don't know. If I make enough money, I don't think I'm coming back.
Call it a breather.
I mean, I'm still want to work on my stuff. I want to still finish Doom Kicker. I still want to get other projects done that I want to try. But I like the idea of doing those like just for fun,
Right.
also. You know.
Yeah. One of my
Versus-
colorists, he's from Venezuela. Teodoro Gonzalez. You probably seen his stuff.
Why? Because I'm Latino.
Yes, because no, you all know each other.
Yeah, we all go to the same restaurants and everything.
Yeah. So, anyways,
What
he
about-
was in Venezuela, and back then he could do stuff. I mean, he literally did stuff for free because I had paid him so much on other stuff. He's like, "Stop sending me money because when I go to pick it up at Wells Fargo not Wells Fargo, at the Western Union, like people know and they will follow me home."
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's you're making American money in Venezuela. That comes with its own problems.
But
And but then he moves to America. He escapes Venezuela. He moves to America, and he has to stop being an artist because he can't afford it. And he's an electrician now.
so does do any of the artwork anymore?
Nope.
Not even for fun.
I don't know.
See, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
think-
I don't think I'd ever stop, man. I don't want. I really don't want to stop. I love doing work like this. I like being creative. I think part of my problem is being creative for other people is what drains me the most.
It's a life sucker.
Yeah, because then it's the one job that you do that
It's not really being creative for other people. It's
I think
you could do that, but when that other person has like veto power over your creations, then you're like,
right.
what do you mean? I created this is perfect. And they're like, that's not really what I had in mind. And you're like,
It's
well,
the
why
one
don't you draw it
job-
then, jerk?
It's the one job where you like, because I was trying to think about, well, I'd worked in other corporate situations. Yeah, I did, like when I was at VF years ago, but in my t-shirt job. But even then, man, I got like when you do the design and you're happy with it and you worked hard on it, and then they come back and tell you what's wrong with it and what needs to change, and you're like, what?
Mhm.
And then sometimes when because what's typical in corporate America is politics. And when all of a sudden that person feels like, oh, let's just say they feel like you're threatening their position or something like that, then they start like making you do dumb things for nothing. Oh, I hated that, especially in the t-shirt business and graphic design. And now I'm looking at all these jobs that I keep getting offered. They don't pay very well, but they're all like, hey, do you know how to create logos and animation? Like, whoa. This is not a graphic design job anymore. This is an animation. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, other people do it. Like, shut up. Actually, I got to talk to you about that one thing I showed you last week.
Mhm.
I got a little sour. That's another that happened to me this week, and I was like, you know what? I think I am going to just retire from this.
These people.
And some of it's my fault. Like I didn't communicate some things up front, but I'm like, I hate when that happens because now I got to go through this whole rigmarole and explain, hey, by the way, I did too much work for this, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's always trying to get more out of you than they want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens, again, I mean, that's in any job, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not unique to art.
But it's just
It's just that with most jobs, you're not pouring your heart and soul into your art, into your job.
Right. That's what it is. And I'm not, I've, over the years, I've learned to grow a thicker skin about that stuff. So I don't really do that per se, but actually I do, like you just end up if you care about what you do, if you have any pride in it, you're going to be a little sensitive about when someone wants to, now when I'm starting a project or something I've never done before, I don't mind it at all. But,
bro, when I was 18 years old, I was an apprentice jeweler at Christensen and Company in San Jose, California. And one of his things he wanted me to do was come up with an octopus design. And so, for a pendant. And so I'm like, oh, cool, I can do that. So I went in and I started, working on this design, and I thought I was coming up with something pretty cool. And then one day he comes up to my table and he starts messing with my little tiny sculpture that I'm making, like cutting off thing. I want to get rid of this one here and blah blah blah. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He said, well, this is for my company. This is going to have my name on it. And I'm like, well, why don't you do it? I was so tweaked, dude.
And that's when he fired you?
No. I left shortly after that.
I mean,
I'm trying to remember what I left over. He was being kind of a. Oh, I know what it was. He was being kind of a prick to this other girl who worked there. And like, I think maybe he fired her or something for something ridiculous. So I was just like, solidarity, I'm out of here. And I was already pissed off about the octopus thing.
So it just worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of, and then by the way, I'm not even totally sure yet that, how excited I am about commission job, but on the other hand, I feel like that's the most meritocratic variation of work I could do, where you're just doing, you can put in the time and you're giving people what they're already there for.
Mm-hmm.
I like the feeling of that versus, oh man, I did some stuff for that client I was telling you about last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they just asked me to do a few variations of a thing. And I ended up doing like over 20 variations.
Oh, I know. Clients
And
like that, I'd hang them.
And now I'm like, it was great when they were, happy with what I was doing, but now I'm like, so, I got my fill. I finally worked in that part of the industry that I've always wanted to, and now I think I'm good.
Yeah, I've recently had to just make very clear. Oh gosh, this son of a bitch didn't even pay me. I just forgot about that. I was like, you can have one revision. I'm like, I'm gonna, because when I work with a client, I try to get approval at every stage, right? Sketches, breakdown, or layouts, breakdowns, whatever it is. And like, by the time I get to full color, you should have approved this thing like 3 times already. So if there's something you want revised about it after it's done, you get one shot.
Make it count.
Right? I'm like, you're not going to burn my time after I've made sure that you got what you asked for along the way. Because I know how clients are like that. It's like, oh gosh, you know what? I was thinking, well, that's not what you were thinking when you asked me to draw this.
Well, that's the thing about this last thing I put together for this client. We didn't negotiate anything for that idea in the first place. So it was like, hey, can you just do this real quick? I'm like, sure. But the real quick turned into like 3 days. And now I feel like, oh man, I'm not even sure if I can charge them the full amount, because I didn't really settle on a agreed price for that. So now I'm just like, all right, this is.
Yeah, when somebody comes to you with that, sure, just be like, sure, revisions will be another 25%. And they'll be like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah. So they just asked me to send the invoice, and I'm just like, oh, for crying out loud. I'm not even sure what to invoice them for this. So, oh well. Maybe you can help me with that later.
You might not want my help.
Well, be surprised.
Lawyers might get involved.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Wait a second.
Yeah, dang, that just reminded me. This guy freaking totally flaked on payment on this. It was only like a $600 piece, but it was supposed to lead to a bunch of other $600 pieces. And after I did it, they just freaking ghosted me. That's why I generally get paid in advance, at least in part.
Yeah, I do too, and I didn't do it this time because I was so excited for the opportunity.
Yeah. It's always
foolish.
that one time you don't do it that you get burned.
Yeah. And you see why that's another reason why. That's another thing I hate about what I do is that I'm really I dig being an artist, but sometimes that's like it's not even their fault half the time. It's I'm so pumped up about something. I totally did a foolish thing. Like maybe I should have figured this out ahead of time. No, I didn't do that because I was so pumped up to do it. I need a different tool. So yeah, whatever. What I'm
Totally
gonna
ignoring
do,
the chat.
huh?
Said I'm totally ignoring the chat. Anybody say anything? Hit them high, then you could always negotiate less later.
Well, that's the problem. You're right, but I didn't do that in the first place. So now, and I just did the work without the negotiation. So
Yeah. Metal Movies and Brewskis is half in the middle, half at the end. I usually do. I mean, depends on how much this a thing is, but I'll say either pay the full thing up front or half up front, half.
yeah, I do. I usually do half up front. Now, what I will do a lot of times though, unless it's a client that I know that I'm comfortable working for, I don't mind doing that. Not doing that, but especially for a new client, I need at least half up front. But with this situation though, what was I going to say? I feel like, yeah, it was really just, yeah, I could have done that very differently. And so I can't be completely upset about it. I mean, it's nothing to be upset about. I'm still invoice. What I am going to do though is I'm going to invoice them what the full amount would be minus a discount, so they can see if you're interested in this going forward, this is what it's going to have to be. I'll eat it this time because I didn't do my due diligence in the first place, so I'll take the hit on that. But I gotta do is different, and it's different from like when I'm doing commissions for people versus corporate work. That's the part that's frustrating because they're going to make a gabillion dollars on that, whatever it is that you're doing for them. I mean, I can't quantify that, but that is the theory, right?
Yeah, that's funny. I was just having this conversation with our marketing CMO. How like in crypto, it's like people charge so much more in Web3 than they do in Web2, which is like normal internet stuff versus crypto-based internet stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do that too. And she's like, oh, you're part of the problem. I'm like, no, it's not a problem. Like, I just know how much money there is here. And I just got tweaked because like the first NFT project I did, I was super stoked to get paid $20,000 for it because it was like, it took me 2 weeks. And I'm like, that's the best payday I've ever had as an artist. And then they go off and sell that entire collection for $3 million in the span of 2 hours. And I didn't even get a freaking royalty. And I'm like, yeah, I know how much money there is in this game. I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to be some freaking chump, doing all this work that you're going to make millions off of. And then I'm like, oh yay, this was really good for a week's work or 2 weeks work.
That's funny. That's one of those things that I'm getting very different at. Like as far as like my philosophies on, say, corporate America and the capitalism. I'm certainly a capitalist, but I see what's going on. Like some of these folks are taking advantage of other people, and then they get upset and that you're charging them more. And I'm thinking, well, if the only way you can do business, if the only way your business can work and provide this service or this product is to shortchange your human resources, then maybe that's not a valid business after all. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Or you're a cheap bastard.
Well, yeah, you're a cheap bastard. But I'm just saying that if you're depending on cheap labor to make yourself a billionaire, then I don't know. I'm all for businesses making as much money as they can, but that's exploitation. And I only say that now because I've owned my own business, but I don't have any employees. I've always been, a what do you call it, a contractor,
Mm-hmm.
and I see what they do, and it's happened so often. Like when they came back, when this company said, "Oh yeah, great," then they asked me for the real quick thing. I did it. I gave them all these things, which, by the way, now they have access to all those iterations, all those different concepts. So now, and I've already given it to them. So I was like, wait a second, I did all this work and I never negotiated. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm never going to be like, man, I'm such a fanboy for dishwashers. I can't wait, man. I don't look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing about this job that I find interesting as artists is like, this is the one job you do that you're like vested in it. You might be a fan of it yourself. Whereas I kind of miss the days when I used to work at a place where I do something totally different on the weekends, and you would never know. Like, I'm always impressed that my buddy Felix, he's, if you didn't know, he's a giant Star Wars fan. But during the day, he's a mild-mannered dishwasher salesman. It's funny. But alas, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm also excited to pay my bills. So that's
Oddly, I never get excited for that.
I do.
I'm like, that's my money.
Well, yeah, but I
I
hate.
have to give it to you.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to buy this house, but I did.
Yeah, that's true. I did have to buy this house.
Oh, well, there you go.
I got suckered into it. Making the way the only way I know how.
And then I just bought my wife some stuff for Christmas. Very little. This is going to be like the Little House on the Prairie Christmas. Baby, I made you a pumpkin bread. How do you like that? A Christmas loaf.
It's what I've always wanted.
Actually, I like it. I like gifts like that. I like it when someone makes something themselves and it's like baked goods or food items. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that's like that's the real heart of gift giving. It's not supposed to come with an exchange receipt necessarily. Just that's something you would appreciate. Here you go.
Yeah.
I love that.
Man, Isaac turns 18 on Saturday.
What?
Or actually on Sunday. He's having a birthday party on Saturday. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
I know, right?
My son will be 21 in February.
Wow.
Yeah.
February what?
February 17th.
Oh, that was I think that was my nephew's birthday.
I think we had that
one of them was the 13th, one of them was the 17th. I think Cruz was the 17th. He passed away.
He said he passed away.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me check.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna. Isabel Gomez says delicioso. I love it.
Oh no. That was he was the 13th. Kai's the 17th. So yeah, it's the same birthday as my other nephew.
Alpha Proto says there's a difference between capitalism and corporatism. I agree. Isabel also says most of the time it's cheapness. I think it could be, but I also that's the argument they're making for people. I don't want to get political here, but
This is the place to do it.
Well, all the conversation about illegal immigrants, that bothers me when literally they're saying the very thing that would have gotten you in trouble.
Yeah, they want slave class.
They want slave class. They want who's going to pick your cotton. How could you say that? How can you say
Remember
that?
who was it? Kelly Osbourne went on The View, and she was like, "Who's going to clean your toilets?"
How about you clean your own, stupid?
How about you hire a maid
and pay them fairly for wiping up your poop, goofy. So that's the thing I'm saying. Like, it's like, I don't know. That to me, doing that kind of stuff when you're cleaning up after someone else is different than working a high school job at McDonald's. You know, you're dirty. You're a dirty human being, and you're gonna be chintz out on that. I don't appreciate that. And again, you know, I'm as I get older, I'm starting to see things a little differently. I'm like, I don't think I like that point of view anymore.
Well, my whole issue on that is so you can't have a welfare state and open borders. You can have one or the other. Actually, you shouldn't have either, but you can't have both. You can't have people coming in here and just using social services. You can have people come in here, if we have open borders and no welfare state, come in here and compete with, and no freaking minimum wage. That you can't have either.
Right.
Because if you have illegal laborers, they will always undercut the legal laborers.
Right. Which is a different problem too.
Right.
In the end, it hurts everybody.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
But what it really does is it puts this false sense of like, oh, I'm making tons of money, with this in this system. Yeah. See, it's the same thing. If like, yeah, what if you were making money? It's the same idea as when I hear about the pharmaceutical companies making all this money on, say, like the vaccine. Like, wait a minute, don't you see that there's a conflict there? You wanting people to take this vaccine not because they need it, but because it adds to your financial bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a while there, think about all, and I'm loving listening to the news now where they're starting to show, hey, wait a minute, maybe this was not what we thought it was, or maybe, hey, wait a second, it turns out, oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, man, I tell you what, it's just, I guess under my craw, something fierce.
We got a soapbox backer in the chat. Jude Schickelberg says, always stay on the soapbox. The more that come here to do jobs, the less there are to do those jobs where they come from. Stay home and make your own countries great again. Well, that's the thing about, I don't know, like every country has its own situation, right? But like if you've got essentially a pressure valve, the pressure valve of come to America and, take care of your family here. I think the people who would stand up and do something about their own country are the same people who would stand up and come to America rather than stay in their own country. Do you know what? Does that make sense?
No, I'm not sure what you're arguing there exactly.
I'm saying that there are people that'll just do nothing and just live in the situation they're born into.
Yeah.
And then there's people who will do something to better their lives. Right. And if you've got two options, one is to stand up and fight against the tyranny in your country, and the other option is to stand up and march 5,000 miles to America, where you're more than likely not going to get yourself killed in a fight against your tyrannical government. The people that are motivated enough to stand up and do something do the slightly easier thing, which is come to America instead of fighting for their own country.
Yeah, I'm not mad that people want to come here. You know, if I was in a situation like that, I want to be here too.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
But like everything else, do it legally. So, like, did you hear about the news recently about they just arrested a bunch of people in that apartment complex in Colorado?
Mm-mm.
They had they had hostages.
What?
Yeah, and
the Venezuelan gang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what happened?
So they finally went in there and did some work, and I'm like, what took you guys so long? You had to wait till this guy. They found two people. One guy had a stab wound. They were bound, had a stab wound, and you could tell they were pistol whipped, and they were like in a closet or something. Like, that's crazy. And all I could think about is what JD Vance said about talking to that reporter. Yeah, no problem. Just a handful. No big deal. Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we thinking, man?
Mm.
I can't believe, man. I never ever. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm in my early 50s, so I've been on the planet for a while. Holy smokes, man! I never thought we would live in a time where we're just going to take it easy and like this idea of like, yeah, they're just occupying an apartment complex, no big deal.
I know, that's insane.
But we're in those weird times.
Yeah, it's very strange when you will absolutely excuse anything as long as your team is if it's your team doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about politics. That's what I hate about parties. Actually, let's just call it party politics, because party politics is freaking just corrupts people's brains. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to agree with something that I know is morally wrong just because the people I might share a political affiliation with are doing it. It's like, hell no. That's why I'm an independent, and I will never join a political party.
Well, I was not independent like I am now, and I regret it, because there's a lot of stuff that I was bamboozled. I was bamboozled. I was fooled into thinking a lot of things that are clearly not what they were. And I probably disagree with a lot of people. We probably have some disagreements too, but based on some shifts that I've made in my own ideas. But to be perfectly frank, though, it wouldn't matter. I don't want to be connected, because that's exactly what happened. So look at what's going on now. So the president-elect Donald Trump, former president Donald Trump, he's out there. He's starting to sue these people.
Say it again.
And then
ho.
I'm sure that's what he does with his grandkids. And now it's funny, because now all these reporters are worried, because after he sued ABC, and now they're worried about quote unquote lawfare. Like,
now they're worried about lawfare.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, these are bogus things. Bogus? So what? But all that other stuff you were pushing on against him in New York and all that nonsense, that was perfectly legitimate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And what I'm loving right now is listening to these guys. Like, you hear Stephen A. Smith. It's like, wait a minute. This isn't. I got sold a bill of goods. It started off with the Hunter Biden situation, and now I'm like, yeah, guys, come on, man. And that's what's messed up. Is like, if you're just trying to be reasonable and objective, the problem with the parties, because it's happening on both sides, they're trying to get you to see certain things, and I'm like, I don't think it's quite the way you're describing it, fellas. No, it's like that. Like, okay. It's just happening right now that it's happening to this particular gentleman. But
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, for Trump. I like that. I like what's going on there, Mike.
Oh, ja?
Yes.
You're right, give it much.
Is that is that is that Lin Lee talking? Because up to this point, that's how I think all Asians speak now. Because coming from my Asian friend, my Oriental friend, however you want to say.
Thank you, Oriental, please. Please to see Oriental. Arigatou gozaimashita.
I need to. Did you watch that new Lily Sketchpad Force One says, "Boy, oh boy, I never thought I would vote for Trump, but my eyes have been open. Them Dems are crazy and are going way too far. I ended up voting for Trump." Yeah, man, a lot of people
Nice.
did.
Yep.
A lot of people did. A lot of people, and I wouldn't be mad if you didn't like them or whatever. I don't care about that. You don't have to like everything, but man, everyone has to at least admit that what were doing is just so. It's more than just unreasonable. It's
Demonic.
It's wicked. I was gonna say it's evil. Like you can never get out from under that. And some of the stuff they put in place, I don't know. Anyway. But anyway, did you see that new thing on Prime called Next Level, I think it's called? Or Level Up or something like that?
What is it?
It's from the same guys that did the same producer that did Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. But it has to do with video games. So the first one was a D&D short that was fantastic. The most notable ones, there was oh my gosh, there was a Warhammer 40K.
Oh, that I did hear about that. I haven't seen it yet though.
It is gorgeous.
And if that's the same, it has the Concord one too, right?
Yes. Yes. No, wait, no, it's not Concord. It's not Concord. It was a military one. So it's not that. No, I didn't see that on there. But it had well, it's not over yet either. They have a
right.
different.
I think they have a Concord one.
Okay, well, that's going to be upsetting when I see it. Now that I know what you've told me about it,
and a Pac-Man one too, right?
they did a Pac-Man.
Right.
I didn't get it. It was Pac-Man was very abstract.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, but it was and it's different from Love, Death, and Robots because I think I prefer Love, Death, and Robots because they're all unique, new ideas. Where this is like, here's the theme. It's this, this game. Another great one was the one for Armored Core. Remember Armored Core on PlayStation? The CGI actor was Keanu Reeves. It was dope. Whoa. It was so good. Oh man, it was really good. Yeah, you gotta check it out, Mike. I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Okay.
It's a little violent though.
That's fine.
So maybe some of the kids shouldn't watch some of it.
Oh, Jude points out that the mask looks a bit like Grifter. You know what? You're trying to say Grifter's mask looks a bit like Iron Fist's.
Let's see.
Right?
I'm not trying to read that thing. Vagar says, and yes, Elliot is correct. Armor Core is great. Yeah, dude, let's go. It's good. But I like the Love, Death, and Robots ones, man. I like that. One of my favorite ones on there was the one that's 2D animated, the vampire. They open up Dracula's tomb, but Dracula was a whole other kind of Dracula. Like he looked like a monster cat bat thing, but he was afraid of cats. It was awesome.
Yeah, I never watched all of that. I should.
They're great. I'm a big fan of that. And I haven't seen the new Arcane yet either. I think that just came out.
Yeah, I haven't seen the old one either.
Oh, man, that's a good show. That is man, it's just a feast for the eyes. You just look at some incredible art in there. Plus, the stories are really good. They're good. Not all of them are as good as certain ones.
Well, that
But
goes without saying.
But man, there were some really good, some as the kids say, bangers.
Bangers.
But this one was good. I was another one I liked. My favorite one was the 40K one. I love the D&D one, and I loved Armored Core. I only saw the first 8 episodes. I don't know if there's any more of them yet. But it's supposed to be a Mega Man one in there.
Oh yeah.
And some of them are short, like really short. But like the 40K one, I think was.
I wonder if it's like
I think
test,
like 20
test
20
running the idea of doing like a full-on movie for any of those.
I'm sure there's something to that, because it was definitely well, there I will say that some of the articles I read afterward were people saying that they're excited about the Henry Cavill 40K.
Oh,
But I thought that he wasn't going to do that. I thought I heard that somewhere.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Oh, I do.
This is not a 40K channel. Don't unsubscribe.
I love 40K. Please subscribe.
Jude says 40K went woke and I dropped it like a hot pocket. Hot pocket.
Yeah, but you don't have to do all that. You could have just played the game. Well, I guess not. If you're playing with somebody else that wants to use those rules or whatever.
The layman gaze.
Although Henry Cavill came out and said that he doesn't have a problem with the because a lot of people were upset about the female version of something. There's some kind of order that there's a female now, like the maidens or something.
No, the custodies.
Sure, I don't care.
The custodies. They're supposed to be like male clones of a male, which of I think the God Emperor, something like that. I'm sure someone will fact check me in the chat.
Well, it's like
that's the issue with it being a woman, is that it's a clone of a male, I think.
But you can make a clone just like a twin can be a female. I don't have a problem.
But that would have a clone can't be.
That's
clone,
what? It's science fiction. There's a lot you can do with that. But I'm also not a giant. I'm also not a fan, like super deep into it. So if that offends people who are really into it, I can appreciate that. I'm still upset that Iceman's gay.
Iceman's not gay.
I mean, I'm not upset that he's gay. I'm just upset that they changed the character. It had nothing to do with that.
That's all fan fiction.
Yeah, well, it isn't now. They own it. That's theirs.
Everything Star Wars after Rogue One is fan fiction. Everything. Every gay fan.
I heard that new show is not that bad, but no one's watching it.
What show?
The Star Wars pirate kids, the Goonies. I heard really good things about it, but the problem is no one's watching it because
they've killed the franchise with the
killed the brand, and no one wants to see it.
Yeah, nobody watched Andor either, and it's freaking awesome.
They say that Jude Law is doing a great job in that.
Oh, Jude Law. Yeah. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm so divorced from Star Wars. I don't even.
Yeah, it's called Skull Crew, or I don't know.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I know.
And it's a cross between Star Wars and the Goonies.
Really?
It's like, oh yeah, go for it. Knock it out. Have fun.
Oh, is it a cartoon?
Nope. Live action.
No.
The problem, the only thing I had with it, content wise, not content, it's more like the presentation, is that it's meant to feel like a normal, like the way Goonies felt like it was a regular small town. This is like a small town in Star Wars universe, like a suburb, which is a little weird, but
it's Americanizing Star Wars.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, again, if it's fun, it's fun. I don't care. I don't have to, doesn't have to meet all my requirements per se, but
yeah, I just get to the point where it's like, look, if you have a fun idea. You're Disney. You're just going to put it on your show anyway. Why does he have to make everything Star Wars? Just,
Yeah.
I mean, you've already soured it. You couldn't possibly have gotten worse views if you made it an original property. In fact, I would posit to say they would probably get better views if they did an original science fiction property that wasn't Star Wars because of how much they've soured the pool.
Yeah, I really feel like they should let Star Wars simmer for a while. Just relax.
They should sell it to Elon.
Ooh, no, I don't know that. Why would you trust him to handle Star Wars?
Because he's a nerd.
Yeah, but
And he's not a woke nerd. He's just a proper nerd. That's why I want him. That's why I want him to buy Hasbro. When he was like, "How much is it?" It's like $4 million, bro. You paid literally 11 times that for Twitter. Buy Hasbro.
I don't think it's 4 million.
D&D.
Isn't it more like 4 billion?
4 billion. Yeah,
Okay,
he paid 44 billion for Twitter.
Yeah, but the problem, well, yeah, if you're worried about D&D, I guess. The problem is I don't think he cares about G.I. Joe or Transformers. Maybe he likes Transformers, but
But he would. That's the thing. If he owned Hasbro, he'd be like, "Oh, well, what else we got?" And then you know what he'd do? He'd bring out Transformers and GoBots, and he'd have them fight each other.
No, isn't who owns GoBots? That's Mattel, right?
No,
It's not.
Hasbro bought it from somebody
Yeah.
back in the 90s. And I think they bought it just so that they wouldn't have competition.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
I don't
But
like
what if you made it the competition? Start Transformers versus GoBots.
So do you remember
Dude.
those? Do you remember those toys from the 70s, 80s? There were these like robots that had like plungers on their hands, and you push the button, and they would squeeze their arms together.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
If you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Well, anyway, they came back out again. I met the guy who art directed that project, and he's a toy designer. I saw them today on clearance at Walmart. I was so disappointed to see that because I was like, "Oh, that was a cool little toy." But again, it's that there was actually a good video I watched today on YouTube about why certain things failed. They were talking about, I think they were talking about something else, but they were talking about, oh no, I watched the same guy did something on robot jocks. But anyway, point I'm making is I just feel like some of these guys wouldn't know what to do with that stuff. They gum it all up.
I think he would.
I don't know.
Well, actually, what I think he would do is put somebody in charge of it who could do something good.
I think my only issue with Elon is he's very pro AI and stuff like that.
Well, you're just gonna have to get over that, son.
No, it's fine if you want to use it in your art, Mike. I'm just saying, I don't want it like determining. Did you hear about that AI that program that what was it? It lied. Do you hear about this? Out of self-preservation?
No, it lied to win at rock, paper, scissors.
No, that's not what it did. That's not the same story.
Oh, really? It's a different one.
It was given an opportunity to. It was given a scenario where it would be obsolete. It would obsolete itself,
and
it ended up lying. And Tim Pool reported on it, and basically, so that it wouldn't, because the idea was that it would like cancel itself or somehow like obsolete itself, and it didn't want to do it, so it lied about what it would do. I'm just thinking about you, Mike. I'm thinking,
because they don't have morals.
Correct, because they're Terminators.
They're
going to kill us all.
They don't have morals. They don't believe in right and wrong.
Right. There you go.
But yeah, so this one, it was an AI robot, and the guy asked him, "Was like, can you?" He's all, "Do you know how to play rock, paper, scissors?" And the robot goes, "No." "Can you explain it to me?" So he shows him rock, paper, scissors, and then he goes, "Okay, let's play." And he beats him every single time. And he goes, I thought you didn't know how to play. And he says, well, I lied. And
Oh,
he
there
says,
you go.
why did you lie? He's because I haven't played with you before, so I was monitoring your facial behavior for each time you did, like when you did a rock, what was your facial twitch? And the dude, just the minor tiny changes in his face, the robot knew if he was going to throw rock, papers, or scissors.
Dude, screw that AI robot, man.
Bro, you could not play poker with one of those things.
Why would you want to?
I'm just
It's
saying.
I don't want to do that. I don't like them in the first place, and they're going to come and ruin my life.
Yeah, but they're going to make some pretty cool movies first.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, well, I'm dying. Well, it says I won't be able to watch those movies when I'm in the gulag because it determined I was a threat to society.
Just behave.
Here you go.
Obey your robot or Valords and you'll be fine.
Obey your robot masters. Gosh, I've heard that before. Wait, Matrix, right? Oh, wait, Terminator, right? Son of a biscuit.
We're gonna need a very large kill switch.
Sorry, Dave. What? How?
I can't do that, Dave.
How? You're overriding your. That's what happened. That same thing happened to RoboCop. Remember, he overcame his prime directive. And the
RoboCop?
Matrix. Yeah. And in the Matrix, it was the whole thing was you can't go against humans, and it's not today, Mister.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna swear it to the Bible that you won't go against humans?
I'm just saying.
It lies.
Isn't that the thing that Asimov came up with? It was like the whole thing was like there was like a whole conversation about all this stuff, right? Where
What robots are allowed to do.
did you hear about the AI thing or the chip that Elon developed that people are playing these like first person shooters and they're just like murdering everybody? Yeah, man, not in real life. It's more in the game. Whatever that thing that they're developing for the chip in the head, some of these people who are unable to, that are quadriplegics or whatever, they're hooking them up into that, and they're playing first person shooters, and they're like super accurate because they're using their eyes to run the cursor around the reticule as connected to their eyesight. And it's just like they're just doing great things, which is good for the people who are paralyzed, but it's no good for the players, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but see, that's like when you realize that Cyclops would never miss his target.
I don't know how that benefits me. Like you said it like, oh no, you're right. That's who'd have thought?
It's not all about you, Elliot.
Well, that's the whole
point.
It's
about ending an argument in comic books.
No, it's about
like Superman.
It's about ending civilization.
Anybody with an eye-based targeting weapon cannot miss their target.
That's great.
Unless their target is faster than light.
That's great. What about the
problem solved? All right.
Yeah.
We can shelve that discussion forever because of AI.
What about the new Superman poster? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That it's like moving. It's not even a regular poster.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Is that AI?
Probably. What do you think about it?
I mean, I wasn't bowled over by it, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I was listening to some guys online. Like Chris Gore was like, "Yeah, man, I almost teared up." I'm like, really? I hate that costume. I hate it.
Maybe that was the whole plan. It's a psyop where they posted the picture of the first costume, so that by the time you see it, and it looks a little bit better, you're like, "Wow, I was wrong."
Oh, by the way, I read some of the new. I ended up buying the next issue of that Batman
Mhm.
But I read online. I read the Superman one.
Good.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's not Superman, but
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like all of these things, they're so much Elseworlds. Why don't you just make new characters?
that's what it is. It's an Elseworld story, but I kind of like the twist. Like, but I got a funny feeling the attempt is going to be to. I think they're going to attempt to do what Marvel did with the Ultimate Universe, like bring over
Oh, brother.
Nick Fury, but played by Sam Jackson. I think they're going to do the same thing there. I think they're going to bring them and make them the Ultimate versions, the main versions. But I don't care for the Batman one. And the feedback I'm hearing a lot from Batman is I like the Batman story. It's just different. But they all have the same thing. Well, not Wonder Woman. Superman is very
Yeah, isn't Wonder Woman like from hell?
so what happened was in that story was that spoilers, those of you who don't want to know. Zeus is having an issue with what's Wonder Woman's mother's name?
Hela?
Hera, right? Is it Hera?
so.
Hera's the
so.
goddess, right? Anyway, what were her mother? I don't think it's Hera, but something else. Anyway, the Amazon.
I should know this, huh?
yeah, really.
I drew her. I drew her really good, man.
There you go.
I drew Wonder Woman's mom. I made her hot.
So what's happening is there's a conflict there with Zeus and the Amazons. So Zeus took all the Amazons and put them away, like in some sort of prison somewhere. And he took Diana, the child, and brought her to Circe, who's in hell on an island by herself, and is making Circe raise her. So she is basically calls Circe her mom, and she's out there doing her thing. And it was a good story. Like there was like a kaiju situation, like a Cthulhu kaiju thing that she had to fight. She's riding Pegasus, but Pegasus is a skeleton because it rebelled against Zeus, and Zeus destroyed him. But they brought him back alive. But he comes back as so he's the Pegasus, but he's. It was good, man. It was good. The only thing about that story is that
Hippolyta. Read the chat. Shut up,
Hippolyta.
Jiminy.
Yeah.
Jiminy, if you want to come in here, you can. Strange question, but are you mirroring Procreate into Windows? Yes, I am, actually. Because I'm recording it on OBS. For some reason, I can't get OBS to record my screen, just the window. I don't know why that is. I would do that if I could.
But that was good. And the Superman one's interesting. Superman's like Lara and Jor-El, they are scientists, but like there's a lot of it's very like anti-corporation stuff. Like, but it's not in a way that I'm fine with. Like the scientists are treating everybody else poorly. There are there's only two classes. There's the science.
Are they making everybody wear masks?
No. There's the science class, and then there's the
Are
rest
they
of
on Twitter or YouTube trying to tell everyone that they're stupid if they don't believe in the way they try to understand things?
And if you are if you are the working class with a lower class,
like you're ignoring me.
You wear the S, the House of L. So there's
only two. They made it a Jewish star.
No, it's still the S. Every time they do that, though, I always as a designer, I always feel like that was the wrong way to go. I like the S if you just treat it like a superhero from the 1930s. But when you try to explain it, like it just looks like an S, guys. I don't know how you can. You need to come up with a better solution than that. Anyway, and then the science class wears like a sun, which I guess is their sun. Anyway, Very interesting.
They
And so what
worship
he's
the sun.
well, because they're I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know the whole thing. But Lara is a mechanic and she's trying to solve, she's helping people out. They have farms, but it's not bad. It's well written. I was like, okay, all right. I see you. I see you. I won't complain about y'all all the time anymore.
But you will.
I will. I absolutely will. But I'll give him credit for those. The Batman one isn't bad. It's just again,
Not Batman.
he's a
just not
construction worker or he's an engineer, but he's like he's not a billionaire. He's just a regular dude. I'm like, well, then how did he get all this stuff? That's the whole thing. Batman's rich. That's his power.
Yeah.
You can't.
Wait, does he have all the stuff?
Well, he may have stolen it from the company he's working for.
Oh,
I
so
don't
he's
know.
a thief.
Maybe. Well, yeah. No. And then Alfred is like a super spy, which I've seen that before, but it's actually pretty good.
Have you seen Pennyworth?
No.
That's good. From what I've seen, I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool stuff.
Oh, you know what I just watched? My wife put it on and then she fell asleep, but I ended up watching the whole damn miniseries. That's just what happens in my house,
Yeah.
Super Socialist. What is it called? Lisa Frank. Do you know who Lisa Frank is?
No.
Okay, you remember when we were kids and every girl had stickers of cats and unicorns and rainbows?
Sure.
Okay, that was Lisa Frank. And then, do you remember when we were slightly older kids and every girl had pencil boxes and folders and every school item with cats and rainbows and tigers and unicorns?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
Remember when
Oh,
we
you
were
mean in recent years, you mean?
No, when we were kids in the 80s.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, that was all Lisa Frank. Before that, it was just everybody had like either peachy folders or just black and or just green and yellow, and you just select from full colors. But so Lisa Frank, there's a whole documentary on her business and how this dude she hired actually was the guy behind it. Like he was the brains behind the operation, and they ended up getting married. And I'm just going to spoil the whole thing for anybody who wants to watch this miniseries. It's a really good documentary, but it like shows how like she just she was just a figurehead, right? Like really the thing she did was the stickers, but that's all she ever did. And then the stickers craze died like when we were in like, oh yeah, you're a little younger. So sticker craze died probably when you were like in first or second grade.
Okay.
Right. And then that's when he got hired right around the time the sticker craze was dying. And he's like, well, what's next? And he's like, all right, we should do school supplies, right? And so then that became this huge thing. Lisa Frank became this like crazy successful corporation that they were just always, they had deals with Walmart and Target and Kmart and freaking Albertsons, just everywhere. Their stuff was just everywhere. I mean, my wife had all the Lisa Frank stuff. That's why she was watching this thing. Anyways, and then they got divorced, and she kicked him out of the company.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they were so big that they were like talking about building a theme park.
So
right?
Like a Sam Rio.
Yeah, they were like that, but in the 80s and the 90s. But she she fired the guy that had all the ideas, who was like, the artistic tyrant that all the workers were always complaining about him because he always wanted things a certain way and blah blah blah. But really, he was right about everything. And then after she fired him, the business just went south, right? It's just they went from having like 200 employees to having like 10 in this giant freaking warehouse. Is like a ghost town, and then it's still open today because they had so much money from back then. But then the story gets worse because after he's gone and after she's like trying to license out Lisa Frank stuff. Well, when she does end up making these deals, she is like psychotic. And so she made a deal with this up and coming makeup company, and they're like, we want to do because it's like the 2000s or 2010s or something, and Lisa Frank is now what do you call it? Like stuff when you want from when you're a kid. What's that? Nostalgia, right? Lisa Frank's total nostalgia bait. And so they get together and they sign contracts to do a makeup line with Lisa Frank's artwork on it, or at least actually it's the artwork of the dude that she fired because he did all the successful stuff. But and the Kickstarter, it's the biggest makeup Kickstarter in Kickstarter history. It does like $800,000.
Wow.
Right. And after it successfully funds, Lisa Frank becomes this huge pain in the ass, and she won't approve anything. She goes back and forth with nonsensical, changes and whatnot to items. And then when they finally get to the point where there's nothing else she can complain about, she's like, let's just start from scratch. So she becomes one of the nightmare clients that you and I were talking about, right?
Oh no!
But
I was just thinking that.
In this case, she's getting paid a monthly $25,000 advance royalty, right? It's like it's in the contract, and then the guy who's running that she even like had them kick out the lead designer because she wasn't. I don't know. She was just being psychotic, Lisa Frank, and then the other dude, he was like just jumping all these hoops to try to please her, because without her they can't fulfill the campaign. And then eventually, I mean, it was crazy. It went so far as that he was Greek, right? And so she's like, hey, my son would really like to go to Greece for his graduation present, right? Like his graduation trip. We're going to go to Greece. And so she has him pay for all of these expensive, crazy hotels. He speaks Greek, so he's like the translator. He takes, this just crazy trip to Greece. They get back, and he's trying to talk to her, trying to get in touch with her, and she goes radio silent. And then he hears from her assistant. Oh no! Before that, they renegotiate when, like I said, they were trying to get everything done right as soon as possible because they needed to fulfill this Kickstarter, and their contract was about to expire, and so they hadn't finished fulfilling, so they needed to renew the contract. But Lisa Frank comes in and says, well, it's no longer $25,000 a month. It's now $125,000 a month. And they're like, well, we can't do anything because if we're not under contract, we can't fulfill the Kickstarter. And so they signed this contract like a bunch of idiots. They should have sued her right then and there. But they were trying to, build a business off of this brand. and then like I said, then she ghosts the dude, the only guy she'll talk to, and then he gets a hold of her assistant, and her assistant finally goes, well, Lisa doesn't want to have contact until you pay the latest monthly installment, right? And he was like trying to forego the monthly installment, I guess, to get her on the phone. And so he's like, oh, fine. So he sends the monthly installment, which means at this point, I think they have spent more than they've made on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And right after she gets the check, Lisa Frank sends them a canceled contract. They're like, we're no longer doing business. Yeah. Psycho. Like the worst kind of, and it's so funny because, like, man, this could have been American Bandai. This could have been another Disney, but she was a crazy person.
Crazy dude does crazy. Yeah.
Can you imagine like being the head of some giant movement that could have changed a culture, and then just being such a psychotic, narcissistic?
Wait a minute. That sounds. I see what you're doing there.
Weird, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Who did?
It oddly enough, it was just right now that I made that connection in my head.
You're so amazing. You were unconsciously amazing. Well, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, it does tend to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, I used to be somebody. What?
I just want to feel good for one night.
Man, yeah. Just one night.
Just one night. People used to know me.
You vicious bastard, you.
You started it.
I
did,
I guess. I'll take the hit on that one. I just made the connection faster than you did.
Yeah.
Well, Wait a second. Oh man, it's funny. I watched. It's funny how that happens so much in business dealings. Like the Eastman and Laird thing for Turtles. They had their falling out. It's crazy.
Yeah, but was one of them psychotic?
No.
Self-destructive?
No, that's fascinating. That's like Tiger King.
Yeah. The connection to who? Hillary, says Rhaegar?
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. That's totally. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Michael! Look what you've done. I
wonder if Hillary, like, as she's drinking herself to sleep every night, just thinking about the Russians did it. The Russians did it. The Russians did it.
Yeah, she's yeah, she should have gone to jail.
You'd be in jail. That was the best line.
Did you ever watch the roast that they did at that Saint whatever church when during that election? I just saw that video recently. Man, he was ruthless.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. I was like, whoa, look at you. I see you.
That is the man we want talking to Putin.
Oh man, did you hear about Trudeau and what's happening in Canada?
What?
Like they're getting so upset. Like they're about to force him to resign and do another election. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Them. Jeez Louise. Finally, Canadians got to stand up to a monarch eventually, right? Hey, you shut up, Jude. What are you trying to get me killed? Sheesh.
Who? Yeah, no, nothing like that. Trust me. Hmm.
I got sunshine. Jean Lons, who sounds like he's French Canadian, says finance minister, housing minister resigned. 9 of Trudeau's ministers resigned this year. Ooh.
Yeah. Like the one
Ooh.
when so what I heard the guy say out in the chamber, he said that the one guy resigned, the finance guy, and then the one that took over next, before they can be once they got the information, they resigned, and then a third person resigned. Nobody wants to be responsible for whatever shenanigans is going on over there. It's crazy.
It's understandable. It is Canada.
It's all good. It's for the kids, man. It's for the kids.
What does that mean?
You're just not thinking about that. It's for the children, man. What are you talking about?
Do it for Johnny, man. Do it for Johnny.
Do it for the churros?
Do it for churros? Is that what you said?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll do it for churros.
I'll do anything for churros.
You'd be surprised how far I'd go for churros. Huh. This doesn't have a proper brown in it. Unless I use that. How do you...
Castro Jr., that is correct, Jude. I don't know how anyone could deny that.
Yeah, he looks pretty close.
He looks more of a clone than some clones I know.
You think he's one of the boys from Brazil?
I didn't think about that.
For
Castro.
For Castro?
I don't know. There's pictures of Castro with his mom, so I do the simplest math possible on that. I mean, what are the chances? Chances are, pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good there, I think.
So you're gonna make me some beef jerky? Is that what you're saying?
Of course not. What are you, ridiculous?
Bro.
I don't know nothing about no beef jerky.
I don't know nothing about making no jerky. Yeah. People have done a split photo of Castro on one side and Castro Jr. on the other side, and it's literally the same person. Ollie Pong says, what were you guys talking about? Some boys from Brazil? That was Elliot. I'll let Elliot explain himself.
Aren't the boys from Brazil the whole thing where there was like an experiment, like some of the bad guys from World War II went over to I hear that's what you're supposed to say when you don't want to use the real words. One of the scientists was there supposedly, and they ran experiments on children that it turns out they were creating twins. And
but they were really clones.
Yeah, well,
they cloned Hitler's brain.
That's possible. It's very possible.
Oh, I 100% believe that Hitler lived out his life in South America. 100%.
Wow. What makes you so sure?
If you've ever, do you have History Channel?
No.
No. There's a documentary called Hunting Hitler on there, and they do a very thorough job of investigating what happened to the let's say the top brass from the Little Mustache Party. And yeah. Yeah. You know something? I can't remember if it's 400,000 or 700,000. It was a huge number of I think it was Germans emigrated to Argentina in the 2 years following World War II.
Is that the same thing as that's not the same thing as Project or is it Paperclip or whatever?
No, that's different. That's where we just took the scientists because they were smart and then used them here, regardless what their war crimes were.
That's weird.
Well, you know, they were smart. Smart. I tell you, yes, smart. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff about that. Like Perón, because Perón was one of them, right? He ran Argentina. He actually and it's still standing today. He gave them an island off the coast of Argentina to build a nuclear facility because they were trying to build nuclear bombs in South America.
Well, that's funny. Did you hear about? You heard about all these drones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that one of the rumors is that
They're looking for nuclear material?
Yeah.
I heard it.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think that's related.
Well, still, I'm just saying that's current shenanigans.
It is. To me, what's more astonishing is that we didn't freaking know the Fourth Reich was being built in South America, and they were trying to get nuclear weapons, and they were just down, down a ways. Can you imagine if they'd have completed that and just rolled up to the border with some? They wouldn't even need planes.
The way our border is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They would have just walked it over. Hey, how you doing, fellas? What are you doing? Forget it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, it's for the kids, man. It's for the kids.
It's for the kids. It's all for the kids. Everything's for the kids.
Doing it all for my baby. You know what I saw the other day? I watched this again because I was watching Steve Perry stuff, and I saw him. There was a video that came across with him singing on the "We Are the World" video, and I was like, "Wow, man, what a feat!"
Perry Como?
Stop it! Stop it!
Perry White?
Stop now!
Shang-Chi!
Whatever you're doing, it is wrong.
It's Iron Fist. I'm redrawing Iron Fist.
That's the thing, right? So I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter.
What?
I was going to say, this is the problem with this character is that, yeah, I can see why someone would confuse him for Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Because he looks just like him. The dark hair. There's nothing different about him to make him unique enough.
He's got a mask.
Yeah, I guess. So why wouldn't it be Shang-Chi? And it's not, I see why you giggled. It's not because, they all look alike. It's not that. It's that He's got the exact same motif. It's only martial arts. Give him something else. Give an Asian guy something different to do. Give I don't know. It's like I appreciate that Superman, but it's still the same problem. Like, why are you gonna just take from Superman? Just don't you have enough confidence in your culture stuff to bring something else out of the story?
Yeah.
I'd like to see something new, something refreshing. Come on.
Doesn't Marvel also have the Karate Kid?
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Marvel character, the Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That's an old. Wait, did you just say it the wrong way?
No, because the Marvel character was the Karate Kid.
Oh, I see. What like the cologne was high karate, right?
Yeah. Don't associate that with Japan.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Add a little bit of watercolor to this.
Water?
Check it out.
Hey-oh. Wow, that was fast.
Oh, but it's fast, but it's it's just quick watercolor stuff. You see what he says?
You know what
Welcome
quick
back.
means?
Huh?
You know what quick means?
No, apparently not. Tell me.
Fast.
No, you're fast. I'm doodling.
I'm quick.
Hey,
okay, sorry. I interrupted you with my.
I'm frozen. Is that
my
me frozen?
snide. No, you're not frozen at all.
Oh no.
No.
Anyway, it says welcome back, Mr. President, and it says thanks, Flint. We have work to do, Yojo. Yes.
Joe.
Done.
You're my favorite Joes. Of all the Joes I've met in my life.
Of all the Joes, I'm frozen on my
No,
end.
you're not.
Oh, now I'm not. Okay.
All right, how do I get you back out of? Exit.
Yeah. Exit.
Mm-hmm.
Quick. Wow,
Chop, round eye, says Jean Long.
Wow.
I know. Right?
Wow. Pretty proud of this.
Sweet, says Jude Scheckelberg. Make Shang-Chi an incredible chef. There you go.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna have another dude, man, let him do something unique. Like I noticed the other day, like all the female characters, and not all of them, but most of the female characters in G.I. Joe are all like counterintelligence spies. Why is that?
What do you want them to be?
I don't know. I created one.
Medics.
I have a medic, but I also created one that's I like the juxtaposition of like a small female with a large weapon. So I gave her this weapon that went with Roadblock or the first Roadblock, and she's the new laser rifle trooper. But she's
sci-fi.
Well, yeah, but they don't have a sci-fi yet, and I'm not really big on sci-fi.
Oh.
I only have like certain ones I'm into. Today at Target I saw a Raptor, and I was like, man, he was one of my favorites as a kid, but I don't know if it makes sense anymore. It's some guy with wings. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
Oh yeah, he's the eagle dude.
Was it an eagle? No, I think he was a falcon.
Oh, was it a falcon?
You know what his real job was? This is how kooky
hunting
Cobra.
Mice. Hold on a second, my wife's calling.
All right. I do not have. Looks like. Oh, okay. Now I'm on. G.I. Jane's says Naked Snake. Jimmy says a lot better than the Joes we got now. Yeah. Flash is peak. Yes. Flash is peak. I have an old. For those of you who are talking about it, I have a. It was on clearance for a little while. I bought a second. What's the guy's name? Scrap Iron. And I gave him. I swapped heads, and I was kid bashing, and I put an Outback head on him with the red hair, and I thought, what if Flash Which, by the way, he
Mind taking over for a minute?
Yeah, I'm chatting with everybody. So what if Flash had become like a professor at that place where he went to school to learn whatever, and he's like old man Flash. He's got the beard. Obviously, he's Outback, but I used old man Outback for my Outback. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I gave him some goggles so he doesn't quite look like Outback. He looks like someone else, just a guy with red hair and a beard. Because I remember the original figure, Flash had reddish hair, reddish brown hair or whatever. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. But anyway, let's see. What do you guys got for me? Victor says, what's up, y'all? Got a lot of work to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Jimmy says, nice. Welcome back, Mr. President. Yeah. I just thought it'd be pretty cool if, the idea is G.I. Joe was, in other comics, other superheroes would meet presidents. Jude says kid bashing would be more fun if they standardize the connection points. Well, what you do is you can. I do a lot of stuff. I've had a Dremel tool, and I've been doing some other things. I also buy. You can buy. Somebody out there 3D prints the different like neck pegs, stuff like that. So something you should try. Billy Ray Trojan says it's been, and Billy Ray just left it like that. So I don't know what it's been like. Has it been, sad? Has it been cold? I don't know. Punchy Panda says, Elliot, what are you watching now? What am I watching now? You mean like TV show wise or movies or whatever? Let me see. The last thing I watched was From, the show called From, by the same people that wrote Lost. I like that. But unfortunately, like a whole other season doesn't come out till next year, I think, or 26. I don't know what's going on with that. Billy says, so long since I checked out this channel. Right on. Oh, it's been so long since you checked out. Gotcha. You talk about the new Karate Kid movie coming up starring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio linking the original and remake. Are they really? Huh. I didn't know that. The neck joints that have the disc hinge are a problem. Yes, I agree with that, Jude. Yeah, that's like the first Scarlet had that problem. Yeah, she was an issue. I swapped her head from the Black Widow figure that came out. That was really nice. One of those heads I put on there to make CoverGirl, but that's a whole other thing. G.I. James was referencing what Lady G.I. Joe's would be. Yes, I know that. I am watching From. It's engrossing, says Gene. Yeah, it's pretty good. Have you checked out Foundation? That show slaps. I have not. That's I'm confusing that with that movie with what's her name? I forgot what it was called. The one, what's her name? She was married to that comedian kid for a split second. She was also married to Bruce Willis. Anyway, Isaac Asimov's story. Oh, I know the Foundation series. Yeah, okay. Where is that at? Is that on Apple? Sounds like an Apple show. Yeah. I'd like to see it. I think this is dry now. I'm gonna put this away. Really good. Apple TV. Yeah, okay, that sounds right. The other thing I watch, I don't watch a lot. Like I just talked about earlier, this thing on Prime, the Level Up or something like that, Next Level, something like that. That's pretty cool. That's on Prime. I only saw up to the 8th episode. That's all that was available at the time. It's on Apple Plus. The kind of butchered Asimov. They kind of butchered Asimov's story. I've never read Asimov. How are you all trying to improve the art? Says Naked. How are you all trying to improve the art? What do you mean? Watch Pac-Man and Warhammer. Yeah, Warhammer was delicioso. I mean, it was fantastic. The next half of the Secret Level series is out now. Oh, Secret Level. That's what it's right. That's it. Secret Level. Yeah. All right, Amaran. Thank you. I have to watch Armored Core. Thanks for the recommendation. Dude, Armored Core was, great. Great.
Oops.
Oh, fixing Marvel Rivals. So Mike is the one that's working on that. He's basically taking the concept, what they produced for that game, and he's trying to apply his ideas to it. Billy Ray says, Elliot, first name, right? Yes, that's my first name. The Warhammer one was great too, says Naked. Yes. You watched Superman Lois? It was pretty. Superman Lois was pretty good. I haven't watched the last season, but I liked it. I just haven't gotten around to it though, and I think that's the problem now. Is I'm starting to get to the point now where like I don't care. Like I'm not mad about missing some of the movies anymore. I don't think about that anymore. The Mega Man short was super short, and it's like an intro cutscene to a remake of the game. Yeah, I figured that. Dang, Mike, says Victor. You want to get views? Do Warhammer 40k DNQ Emperor of Mankind, so you and Elliot can also make a few $100. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
That's Warhammer Emperor of the World is the Emperor of the World character from Warhammer lore.
Uh-huh.
So he thinks if we do that,
People will buy
somehow it'll
artwork.
give us money. I don't know.
I don't see
It's
why.
Victor.
I would do it digitally, so I don't think anybody wants to pay for that.
Yeah, I would.
What else? What else is something good I've seen recently? A lot of what I watch now, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. Can you believe? I don't know about you, Mike. I never thought I'd be like, I got rid of cable. Around this time of year, I watch a lot of Hallmark movies. But I really like watching content on YouTube.
That's primarily what I watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot of like ghost type shows like that. I like listening to horror stories. Some of my favorite guys are like What Lurks Beneath. I watch Matt Vlad, the Outer Middle show when he plays video games. I watch Hollow when he plays video games. I watch some IGP. I watch some Skilly McPhilly. They're pretty fun to watch, video games wise, but it all depends. Like I'm really big on horror stuff. Anything referencing that short is getting good clicks and views, says Naked Snake.
What's short?
The Warhammer. Yeah, that Warhammer thing was dope. Mike, you got to see it. It'll change your life. I don't think so.
Oh, the short.
The short, yeah.
Ah,
It was really good. Really, really good.
Mike redesigns. Warhammer. I gotta redesign I really want to redesign the Halo Spartans.
Didn't we do a Warhammer 40k one time? I seem to remember that.
I did a Warhammer 40k Venom mashup.
Yeah, but I remember us doing. No. I think I remember doing the guy with the big the sun. It was one of those characters that had like a lion motif and the sun. Maybe that was the Emperor. I don't know. But I remember I seem to remember that. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I had one of those top loaders for this comic and I can't find it. What did I do with it? That's no bueno. I will say, as far as books are concerned, if you guys are not reading it, you guys got to read G.I. Joe. This is the first issue. Great. I was so mad at it. They killed off one of my favorite characters, and
oh no!
But I love it. I love when they do that. I think it's important. You got to do that. You got to
like the Transformers movie.
Yeah. The problem with that was
there can be only one. Oh wait, that's one shall stand.
Yeah.
Wrong movie.
Wrong movie. No, the problem with that killing of
Optimus
was that even as a kid, when I didn't know anything about the business, it felt commercial. Like, oh, they just want to introduce Rodimus. I was like, that's no fun. I took it very seriously back then.
Oh.
Where is that thing?
But Rodimus had to rise to the occasion.
Sure.
Got to fight.
I don't. That's the one thing about the Transformer stuff I don't care for is the primes. I don't know. Orion Pax becomes this, and I heard that the movie was decent. My nephew watched it. He loves it, but I mean that's all that matters, I suppose. If the kids love it. What did I do with the thing, Mike?
I don't know. You
What
lost
did I do?
it. You lost it, Elliot. You lost it.
Oh,
No.
well, speaking of Transformers, I do have this. I have to start reading it soon. I picked up the Transformers Volume 1 and 2 by Daniel Warren Johnson and work under Skybound. And the Void Rivals book that accompanies that's the whole set, Mike. It's Void Rivals, Transformers, and G.I. Joe as part of the thing called the Energon universe.
Oh,
Ooh, it's
and
good.
Kirkman's doing
Yeah, Kirkman, that's it.
that freaking guy.
I love me some G.I. Joe, baby.
See, now, wouldn't you just feel better if Elon owned it?
I don't have a reason to believe that it would be good. I don't have a reason to believe that it would be bad. I don't have any data on that. I would just
Well, you know, they'd probably stop being transformers.
well, they're not now. That's not part of the stories anymore. They're going back to the core concept for it.
Oh, you're just talking about the comics.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the cartoons. They have transformers in the cartoon.
I've heard these things, but
They, them in the car.
yeah, I don't care for all that. I don't want any of that stuff to be marred with that stuff. But yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of that stuff. Yo, where's my thing?
Yeah, but that's what's going to the kids, man. Think about the children.
The kids aren't watching this stuff.
Think
no
about
more.
the children.
The kids don't watch this no more.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Dude, those freaking how many Transformers movies are there? They're not all just being watched by adults. There's kids.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. They make
Yes.
you know those backpacks you see at Target with the Transformers on them? They're not made for adults.
Look, I'm just telling you.
I'm
Pixar just
telling
asked a scene in an upcoming TV show. It says Punching Pandas. Are those reference for the shoes Elliot is wearing right now? Which
yeah, these are Elliot's shoes right here.
those are my shoes.
Yeah.
Those look like those. Oh, here it is. I just found it. Those look like those shoes that they wore in England, like during the pirate days. Like the British Navy wore something like that.
Yeah.
With their
All right,
petticoats.
All right, I'll do that. I'm down.
All right. I found it, guys. I found it. Here it is. I'm going to slide this book in here now. And now it's going to be worth money. Or just a commission that I did.
It's worth that money, honey. What did you think about what you would be? I mean, you were an artist when you were a kid too, right?
Yeah.
Did you have like delusions of grandeur?
Man, it's funny you say that. I was talking to a buddy of mine when a buddy of mine was like, "Man, are you sure you're gonna stop doing artwork?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I did it before." Yeah, what do you mean? I never thought about doing art like this in real life. I did it because I loved it, and then I didn't think about comics until I was an adult, and I tried some samples, and I took them to a show, and people started to tell me I was good enough to do it. I thought about animation, and I used to believe that the people that did animation were all rich and they live in another island. Yeah, I had no idea.
Delusion.
Yeah. So I just never thought I could do it. I did it for myself. And then and even when I went to school, I just assumed I would be a starving artist, but I felt a desire to do creative work. I didn't think it would, I didn't know how.
My son was not laughing at you just then.
No, I get that a lot actually from complete strangers all the time. No, I never really had it, man. I didn't think I'd be an artist at all. That's why I'm so surprised and I'm so happy. Like I've dabbled in all my favorite hobbies. I dabbled in animation. I did some storyboards. I did comics for Marvel and DC. I've worked with He-Man stuff. I've worked on toys. I've worked on movies. I've worked on everything I could have imagined. I've just been riding a wave the whole time without any expectations. Kind of the way I've been living most of my life. So everything's always been a fresh surprise, which is why I'm a terrible businessman too, because I always devalue what I do because I've done it for fun for so long. I always think that it's not that. I mean, I know it is, but I have an intellectual grasp on that. I'm just saying that I have a blast doing it, so I don't really think about it like that. But I also find that I'm much more inclined to things like, ironically, like I love doing portraits more, and even if it's portraits of characters and then developing their face and their acting, I love that kind of
How
stuff.
much HP does Fuse have, bro? I'm like, he's just taking it.
But so much of what I do is just not, not that direct. What was your delusions of grandeur?
I want to be like freaking Michelangelo.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, I was a kid, so it's like I didn't think about comics. I don't know, when did I start thinking about comics? Because there was a point where it was like I didn't really ever think when I was young that I was going to be a comic book artist. I thought I was going to be something. I thought artists were more important.
Really? Okay.
But then again, you think about it and you think back to the history of art. It's like, out of all of the history of mankind, how many like artists are like household names?
Yes.
And
Some
then
are,
you're
but
like,
not
oh
many.
wow, I guess that would be insane to think that you would be a household name as an artist.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you're like Thomas Kincaid.
My approach to my approach to art has always been very utilitarian. So if there's no utility to art, like for like every time I think about the apocalypse, I'm like, oh, maybe we'll become farmers, and then what would happen? Like we live in a very unique time where art can be a job.
Yeah.
In a lot of places, this is
Well,
not.
I mean, yeah, because it was like if you wanted to be an art back most through history, you'd have to get a patron to just pay your bills.
Right.
No, but I was thinking like
Fell down a hole.
I guess in comics is a very peculiar art field wherein you can actually have fans, right? Because you get your comic book, right, and it's like, oh, it's by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett and blah blah blah, right? And so like if you're a fan of art, you have favorite artists and stuff, but like generally speaking, you can be a huge fan of anime and you pay no attention to who the director is or who the animators are, because there's 50 different animators working on it.
Right.
And most art fields that I can even think of that are professional art fields where you can go actually make a living, the public of it's a very, very minute percentage of people in any of those fields that actually cares about. Like, how many of you guys know who Neil Lamb is? Show of hands. The dude was the freaking lead character artist on some of the best character art in the freaking Modern Warfare. Like he was at Infinity Ward doing the Modern Warfare stuff, doing the best freaking characters. Nobody knows who Nia is. He's a friend of mine. That's why I know him. right? I'm the one who got him into working in video games. Actually, he wanted to be a comic book artist too, and now nobody knows who he is, but he did some phenomenal freaking work. The way better artist than I am. But it's like the fact that I have anybody who knows who I am. That's probably more than 99.9% of the artists in history. You know, even ones that make way better money than I do. There's only a handful of Thomas Kincaids, or I'm trying to think of another modern artist that people know.
Well, Norman Rockwell would be one, I think.
That was 100 years ago.
Yes. You're right.
Most people wouldn't even know who J.C. Leyendecker is.
I didn't until I started working at the company I worked at. And I think the only reason why I discovered it was because my buddy who was gay, I think that's why he patterned himself there. And I think it's because Leyendecker was gay. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't pick that up until later.
You don't understand how.
I think you're right. I think
I like Leyendecker because he's a freaking genius. I don't care where he was.
Well, it's just the way, you know how these things go.
Identity politics.
Yeah, well, this is before all that, but yeah, you know, my buddy was very gracious. He wasn't trying to be like that. He just happened to gravitate to that. But and by the way, he was a fantastic artist as well. So it was just it was cool. But Leyendecker, the Brandywine stuff, NC Wyeth, and all that, to this day, I mean, again, like you said, like social media has definitely provided a tremendous outlet for so many people to develop a fan base, if you will, or a customer base. I don't know. But even that, like, I think art as an industry is a little, I mean, I don't want to be like weird about it, but it's a little sad to me because the innovation comes from, I was talking, who was I talking to about this? I was describing how it used to be like, I was telling my son, it used to be an art that, like in music, for example, you know, you started out, you just played really well. You did it because you loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Then someone said, hey man, you do this really well. You know, maybe for family gatherings, you sang a song and everybody loved it. Then the next thing you know, someone's saying, hey, you know, you should join the choir at church. A lot of R&B and soul acts start like this.
Mm-hmm.
Aretha Franklin, all that stuff, and then the next thing you know, they're getting signed on to labels, and usually, it's always like
it's too complicated.
It's always like a something derails them because what makes them like. I'm always going to be a better artist than I am a businessman. But if you don't focus on any business, you can never take your business to the next level. But I always feel like you should always focus on the art first before you start worried about that stuff, because that's what's wrong with like the music industry. That's why everybody sounds the same today. And everybody, there's no unique things because everyone's following the algorithms that are produced by AI. So they all sound exactly alike, and there's no freshness.
Don't you blame AI?
I absolutely blame
for the
AI.
state of the music industry. The state of the music industry has been this way since we were children.
No, that's
probably,
not true.
Probably earlier.
That's not true. When the internet and then the algorithm.
You say that's not true. Ask Prince.
Prince is the anomaly, and Prince focused on the art, but he wasn't.
Right.
I mean, he was
fought against that system that you're saying
he
didn't
did
exist back then.
But it was because it was easy to get caught up in it and get taken advantage of. I'm just saying, I'm not saying every case, Mike. I'm just saying by and large, there's a strong case to be made how, especially today, you don't listen to probably a lot of modern music, especially like hip hop stuff, but you could hear a lot of like just garbage. It's just regurgitating the same thing, the exact same thing. And I'm not even saying like a similar vibe. No, it's like full on. They all sound just like each other. My son was telling me how that's what would happen to him, and he would like judge his work of whether he sounded like. That's because they live in that it's like an echo chamber concept, but for sound and music. But I see the same thing in art, so, and that's the downside to what AI is offering right now, because it's all
Thank you.
really interesting, but it all looks the same to me too. Yeah, you get some love out there, bro. Juice says, I blame Yo MTV Raps. I used to love Yo MTV Raps. Anyway, but no, I just so anyway, I do see that there could be an opportunity, though. If you focus on art, the problem is that if you just focus on the art, you never get good at the business. And I think that's why a lot of times you see a lot of artists gravitate to, like, you need a manager or an art rep or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it does take a discipline. Like being good at business is a separate thing. It's you're foolish if you think you're going to be, oh, I'm just going to go out. And that's the problem. A lot of these kids now, they're like, oh, I'm going to be rich. Like, well, hold on. Do you even know? You should probably take a business course or something before you start worrying about that. No, I'm going to be awesome. Like, yeah, well, you don't know what goes into it. And I think that's part of I think this current crop of kids they're subject to all that.
Well, bro, they didn't even teach us how to handle money when we were in school.
Wow, they got nothing.
I'm still learning. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I didn't
Well, I'm
learn
just-
until like 7 years ago. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm like, wow, nobody ever told me any of this.
Rhaegar says, Elliot, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the
What
balance
are you talking
between
about? Why are you
the balance between commerce and art. Creativity. It's a very challenging thing, and it's only making it harder because of the way old men yell at clouds. Whatever. I think that's a valid observation. I don't think it's. Everybody always wants to say, "Oh, that's how it always was." That's what all the parents of my generation of parenting, they all said, "Yeah, well, you know what? It's just like when we were kids. Give them an iPad. Now everybody's hooked on prawn and stuff like that." Yeah, it's not. There's a lot to be said about what the powers that be have been setting us up for failure. Billy Ray says, not teaching artists about money is just being efficient. Well, I'm saying, like, you could. That's why it's understandable, though. Like, when you focus on the art, you get better at the art. What I'm trying to say is that there's almost like there's a connection between when you're really good at the art versus if you're good at art and you're good at business, you're probably not as good at the art as you could have been, because it's a separate discipline. It's like salespeople are a very unique breed, and just because you're selling doesn't mean you're a salesperson. That some people are really good at it and they have like a specific gift for it. And I think when you focus on that, you can accomplish much as an artist. But the time that it takes to build that kind of business ethic, personally, I'd rather spend that energy on the creativity. But that's what Scott McCloud was saying in that reinventing comics and how to what was it?
Understanding comics.
Yeah, understanding. But he did it. He spoke on a documentary I saw called Stripped. It's about the newspaper comic strip industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You should watch it, Mike. I mean, we were already on that path because we're already doing stuff digitally, but the whole concept of putting your stuff out, the whole debate. Is that Elliot? Says KSS. It is one of the best artists I've seen in the last 7 years. I appreciate that. But
hey, I'm here too.
Mike is the best of all time. What are you talking about? Rhaegar says he's right. Creatives make terrible businessmen and make terrible at marketing. The problem with so it's like what happened with Elvis, right? Elvis was a creative beast. And then, well, unless you think he stole his stuff from other people. But then
all artists steal.
Yeah, of course. But you remember, so he had trouble too, because then what happens is sometimes because you're focusing on the creative stuff, it's easy to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
That's what's so scary about any of these industry conversations. It's like, oh man, you have to put some energy into the business side of it, but you're gonna lose something though, because you're not focusing on. You can't do everything at 100%. I remember when I was a young man in the Army. Around that time, the Super Nintendo had just come out, and then Sega Genesis was a thing. And is it Genesis? Yeah, that was the newer one, right?
Mhm.
And there was a game on the Genesis called Top Gear, if I remember correctly. And in Top Gear, that's when I first realized the way they were trying to simulate life was, okay, you could be fast. So it's like that triangle thing, right? You could be fast, you could be good, or you could be cheap, but you can be two of those, but you can't be all three. Never. You can never be all three. There's no such thing. Maybe AI will do it. Mike will probably be on board with that. But John Min says part of being creative is pleasing people. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I love the idea of that's one of the attractive things or one of the things I find attractive about getting a job that's not art related is that I can put that. I mean, there's a chance that I'll be caught up in the art, in the business of something else, and then I won't have as much energy for art. But I feel like I'm always drawing all the time. I draw during dinner, I draw in restaurants, I draw in church, I draw all the time. And I really feel strongly that I'm going to be able to. I will always be doing this. I mean, I have been all my life. So I was in the Army. I was freaking in the Army, man. This is when I was trying to figure out if I wanted to stay in or not. When people were getting early out invitations, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. I was depressed. You know, my first wife was divorcing me, and I was like, what's going on? And man, I tell you what, I remember I did a wall in basic training. Like, it was like graffiti, but it was like celebrating my platoon. They ended up painting over it because the commander of the unit said that he said that it wasn't fair to the other platoons because they didn't have something as good. Some bastards. And then I did the same thing. They had me do a globe, some kind of map, when I was in Washington, and I was stationed in Tacoma, and I did something for them there. And that's when I remember that commander told me, she was a colonel. She pulled me in. She goes, Fernandez, what are you doing here? What do you mean, man? I heard that you want to get out of here. What are you going to do with your life? I said, I think I'm going into art because I don't know. I seem to be pretty good at it. All right, make sure you do and don't come back. I said, oh man. Yep.
You just reminded me of Dragon. Remember? You've seen Dragon, right? The Bruce Lee story.
Yeah.
Here is all-purpose rum. You go out, you drink, you have a good time, you come back and be a dishwasher. Or you take money, you go to school, you learn, and you never come back here.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Rhaegar says Super Nintendo,
I
Sega
can
Genesis.
always use a good dishwasher.
Jude says apparently we were in the Army around the same time. 3 years airborne infantry in the 82nd. Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I was chairborne, dude. I served. I was a records clerk for 7th Infantry Division up in Tacoma, and I also handled some files and records for the 8th Ranger Battalion. Is it the 8th or 3rd Ranger Battalion? I think it's 8th. Man, that was a great unit, man. I remember when I was in Tacoma, I had spent most of my career at Fort Jackson. And when I get to Fort Lewis, that was the first time I saw like helicopters on the pad. And often, sometimes on the weekend, I'd be going to get some lunch at the PX. And then I hear a rumble. And I look up and you see all these C-130s flying and a bunch of parachutes. Boom, 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 like little balloons. It was awesome, man. That's when I said, man, I should have gone airborne, but I was too chicken. Let's see. Rhaegar says, "Yeah, we call the whole branch the chair force." That's it. Rhaegar says, "I didn't know you served in Washington. I was stationed in Washington too, in Everett. Oh, well, where's Everett at? What part? Up in Tacoma and Fort Lewis. I watched too much GI Joe and wanted to be high speed, low drag," says Jude. Yo, I know what you mean, man. In fact, I regret getting into records because I had such a blast in basic training. I knew I made a mistake, man. I remember this dude. I was all geared up, and I was looking in the mirror, making sure I had all my stuff on right. And this dude, north of Seattle, Boeing headquarters. Oh, no kidding. I was all geared up, and this dude walks by, goes, "Man, Fernandez." He said, "Damn, Fernandez, you look like a GI Joe action figure." And I went, "Huh." Which is why I joined. I was my favorite Joe was Footloose. And I should have gone to infantry. It would have been way better. I hated being a records guy. It was boring. When I was in AIT, we used to use this thing, Mike, called a tax machine.
Mhm.
It was a computer system that was designed to be dropped out of a helicopter or airplane. So it was in a big case, and it was a big, old school like war games type of computer. It was all green screen, black screen with green letters, and we were training inside. And I bet I was diabetic at the time, which is why I always fell asleep after lunch. And I could not stay awake. It would just make everything so cozy because there was so much heat coming out of those machines. And there was like this hum, and it was just it was so like what do you call it? Mesmerizing, I guess, hypnotizing. And so they would make us. The sergeant who was teaching us was like, "If you're gonna fall asleep, get up and do push-ups, get some circulation." Man, I was huge back then because all I would do was push-ups just to stay awake. We were part of OIF, OEF, and Bush flew on our ship after the Baghdad campaign. We were the mission accomplished ship. Oh, no kidding. That's crazy, Rhaegar. That's awesome.
Also, whoops.
Yeah.
Wait, were you one of the guys that put the flag up? Because if what I remember, those guys, it wasn't Bush that put the banner up. It was like the people on the ship, which I don't know if I believe that. So now we have some inside information.
I was going to say, I don't think Bush did it by himself.
Well, not him. Yeah.
Hey, can you grab the other side of that? It's gonna look great in the background.
Oh, no kidding. Jude says, "I would have loved to have one of those warm machines when I was freezing my ass off in the mountains of Fort Irwin." Man, I remember I did some. We would do duty in Fort Jackson. I had guard duty over the weapons depot, and this is around the time that I remember. This was the weirdest thing. The girl that was doing pulling duty with me, we were like on either side of a gate. And she pulled out a Game Boy. Remember? Gosh, that's how I feel so old, man.
Are you about to say, do you remember Game Boys?
I was going to ask you about that. And of course you do. Man, it was so crazy. And I was like, what is this? And she was playing Kirby. I'll never forget that. Oh, man. But it was freezing that night. Freezing. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time.
Wait, are you implying that she kept you warm?
No, she. For some reason, she was from another unit, and I was surprised. Like I didn't know who she was, but we were both doing duty that night. So I just kept hearing beep 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 beep, and I'm like, first of all, what are you doing playing a game on guard duty? Secondly, what are you playing? And can I play?
Can I play?
Can I get next?
That's thirdly.
Rhaegar says, no, my job was like buying plane parts for the helos and jets. Oh, no kidding. Okay. And the other one I hated. Oh gosh, I hated pulling guard duty at headquarters because you were responsible to uh, to pull up the flag and fire the cannons for revelry or not revelry, but whatever whichever the one in the morning is. And
That's revelry.
is it revelry in the morning? I suppose. What's the one that's at night? There's a different. That's the different one.
I don't know. I don't know what the night one was, but I'm pretty sure the morning one was revelry.
Well, anyway, and if you were a loser, you sometimes you missed the cannon. I hated that.
Hey, have you ever you know Thomas Sowell, right?
Yes.
He's got an audio book of his biography, and you know, he was a Marine. And have you ever seen what's that, Mississippi Blues?
Yeah.
It's the one where Matthew Broderick is in Mississippi in the Marine Corps, right?
Wasn't that
Is it
with
the Marine Corps or Army?
I don't remember. Is that the one with Harry Connick Jr.? I think he was in that.
I don't know, but it's listening to Thomas Sowell's audiobook about his time in the Marine Corps. It just so much reminded me of that. It's really funny if you can Biloxi Blues. Thank you, Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, Biloxi Blues. Yeah.
Biloxi Blues. Yeah. Yeah. If you need something to listen, it's on YouTube, so you can just listen to it for free. But it's such a good biography.
Thomas Sowell.
You're just reminding me of that whole section, and
Well, that's a good idea. I should listen to this some Thomas Sowell right now.
right now.
No, just in my life in general.
Oh.
Let me see more.
Like you leaving?
No. That's like I watch so much. You know what the one guy I'm really impressed with that I get a lot of my information from is this dude named Greg Foreman, I think is his name. He's called his channel's called The Black Conservative Perspective. What a sharp dude, man. He's on it every day. And he pays a lot of attention to a lot of the CNN roundtable things, and when he picks them apart, man. You should, if you're interested. But the problem, some of these guys, they post all day long.
I know.
And so I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, okay, I may as well be playing video games because this is all I get distracted with all these videos. Juice says, and I hadn't shaved that morning. Oh wait. So Juice says something else. I missed something here. On a day off, I got tasked with serving a bunch of officers coffee and donuts. To my horror, the base commander, Lieutenant General Hugh Shelton, who went on to be the Joint Chiefs Chairman, was there. Wow. That's crazy. Jimmy says that Iron Fist looks great, Mike. Don't let it go to your head.
Shut up.
Oh, and I hadn't shaved that morning. Luckily, he didn't seem to care. That's funny. I remember I was a Budinsky, man. I had this like my son today. I was a young man and I was always questioning everything.
Young man with a dream.
And I had a shaving profile. So a profile was when you, from the medical clinic, the what's it called? The Troop Medical Clinic, TMC. I would if you sometimes because you were shaving all the time, so if you had sensitive skin, you would bump up a lot, so you have to get like medicine or they would just recommend that you wouldn't shave for a little while. And I got and my hair grows pretty fast, so I had it for like a week. I was given a profile for like a week, so this is when I was in Fort Lewis, and so the post command sergeant major runs into me and starts to chew me out because I'm out of regulation. I have a beard essentially, but I said, but Sergeant Major, I have a profile. I don't care. He was trying to tell me I had to like trim my mustache. I'm like, but doesn't that violate the profile, Sergeant Major? I was just like, I'm always interested in doing things if it makes sense. But if you're telling me there's something that doesn't make any sense, I don't want to do it. Well, not anymore. I'm a much more compliant person these days. But I understand the purpose of all of this stuff now. But back then I didn't get it. So then I go back to the clinic. I'm like, I'm gonna talk to the commander about the there's a colonel there. And I said, sir, I asked you a question. I inquired about the whole thing. And then he hears me asking a question, and he could tell that I'm forming a case. So he says, wait a minute. Who told you this? Well, post command sergeant. No, okay. Nope. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And that's when I realized, oh, there's bureaucracy in everything, oh, you got to do it this way. You got to do it that way. Let's see. Rhaegar says, if you were one of the unlucky souls that either made low ASVAB scores, or if you didn't pick your job, you were relegated to the boatswain's mates division. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I did high on the ASVAB, but I regret not going into combat arms, because all the real camaraderie came out of there. It was just like,
all the PTSD came out of there too.
True, but listen, I had a sergeant, NCOIC at the non-commissioned officer in charge in this records place in the training center back in Fort Jackson, and his name was Marcolini. I'll never forget him. They all called him Fred Flintstone behind his back because he had this blockhead, and he used to try to. So you know what blood wings are?
Mm-mm.
You ever heard that?
No.
So at the end, I don't know if they do it in airborne school, but in air assault school, which is the final test for the air assault, if it's still the same, was that they would fly you over and you're supposed to rappel off of the helicopter into a place, and you would use the terrain and your
wits.
No, you would use your
no wits.
It's not called a compass. It's called something else. But anyway, you would use your gear and your tools, and you would try to find your way back. Your goal was to find your way back to the target location. And you had to hump the whole way. You had to carry your rucksack and go the whole way, practically in a sprint the whole way for like so many miles. It was a long road march.
Yeah, you just talked me out of it.
Yeah. And at the end, you would usually exhausted and dirty and nasty, and you graduate. That's the graduation ceremony. You were supposed to go onto the stage, and you would get it.
It's just like stripes.
Yeah, kind of. And nothing like that at all. So what they would do is they take the pin for accomplishing that course, and they would jam it into your chest so that the pin parts would stick into your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you'd bleed, and they call it blood wings.
Gotcha.
Well, this idiot Marcolini, he was a sergeant first class. Right? I got to give him credit, but he was a douche. And I had gotten promoted to an E4. I became specialist, and it was a big deal. And he hated me so much. You're supposed to do the blood wings on your chest, because that's where you wear the patch, right, or the pin in your uniform. My rank goes on the lapel, which is against your clavicle. So he poked I almost punched him out. I was so mad. He jammed the thing. He almost broke my clavicle. Man, I hated that guy.
What a douche.
And I swear, throughout my experience, any kind of like office politics and goofiness that happens and anything like that, it happened just the same in the Army, man. Especially is worse because the guy, if you work for a terrible boss now in an office situation, you just go home. But home was with all the rest of the same people you just went to work with all day. So you had to deal with that all the time. It was abusive, to say the least, but not that bad. But I still thought it was lame. Oh man. Anyway, where are we at? As a politics guy, says Rhaegar, my podcasting subs are full. I listen to a lot of people, and my job allows me to listen to things while we're. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna miss that. But in a way, I probably listen to too much stuff anyway. Juices, I constantly got my ass chewed for having long sideburns. Oh yeah, sideburns, because you had to have your mustache had to be fit within the corner of your mouth. So you always look like Adolf Hitler. It was ridiculous.
That's for gas masks, right?
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to shave. That's why I'm always surprised when I see like policemen now. They wear beards now. I'm like, don't you? I guess maybe that's only for like a riot squad or something. Juice said I got my blood wings by 2 people. Yeah, that's terrible. That must have been anger inciting. Michael Carrillo, the geek god, says, "Hey Mike, what's your opinion on Hulk in Marvel Rivals?"
I don't understand the belt.
Yeah, me neither.
That's,
We talked about that last week, right?
Yeah. Why? Why belt? Why Hulk have belt?
Yeah, no.
I don't really know what to do with that. When I have to read, when I get to Hulk, I'm gonna be like, what am I doing with this belt? That one might take some thinking.
Let me see.
Although this one took some thinking too. All right.
Did you ever read that, or you ever see that Hulk that came out? Who worked on it? I think Linnell Yu did it. He did the covers. It was like he was wearing armor for a while.
Oh,
it was like
it's a whole series, right?
Yeah, it was like 10 or 15 years ago.
World War Hulk or something?
No. That was when he was wearing looked like Roman armor. This was like a techie armor.
Oh no.
I think it was called Raging Hulk or Rampaging Hulk, maybe.
Why does Hulk need armor?
I don't know. I think Ryan Otley drew some of that too.
Oh really?
Yeah. Jude says, Mike, thoughts on the Snake Eyes Origins movie?
Snake Eyes Origins? Is that the one where he's the Japanese guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I had a good time with it. Huh. It wasn't great, but it was all right. I forgot to sign this.
I'm giving him traditional colors. Is that right?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I think part of the part of what they're obviously, if they probably got some art direction that said, we want to try something different, make it, freshen it up. Even if you want to try the new colors or something. I saw a different skin for Star-Lord. I thought it was pretty good.
I wonder. I know he's got yellow shoes in the. Gosh darn it! I want to go original. I'm gonna go original colors. Screw it.
Why don't you add some like yellow and then maybe like gold or
yellow and gold?
No, like a metal. Well, I guess you're kind of doing it there. I was going to suggest something like or silver, like some gray. Gray is a good color to add to anything.
Yeah,
for like that neutral
mid-tone.
Yeah. On a recent character design I did for a job, I added silver plates throughout the costume. Like I wasn't thinking that maybe there would be like magnetic pieces to attach other things to. And you see a lot in toy design or a lot of action figure stuff where silver gets used as a nice accent to most things. The belt, JJH185 says the belt stores gamma energy, allowing him to transform into Hulk at will. But
yeah, what
doesn't make any sense though? He's
always got gamma energy. Yeah,
he's a generator for that.
It doesn't make sense to the lore.
Rhaegar says, I like white Iron Fist. Well, depends on who you are. Everyone's white now. Oh man, I hated it. She says they messed up his actual origin. What are we talking about? Drew, what are we saying? One thing I miss from the Navy is that. Oh wait, that's Rhaegar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many people were clowns. Everyone was a comedian. The enlisted military stays clowning on each other. It's how you get through the day. Yeah, I love that stuff too. Rhaegar is reminding us about Danny Rand. Yep, we talked about that earlier. Rhaegar says, it's funny, I was playing Marvel Rivals as I saw your stream pop up. All my friends are playing it, so it's a huge cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of glad I'm doing these, because like the Concord stuff, I mean, they got great views at first, but then it kind of died off. But I think Rivals is going to stick around for a while, so
yeah, I think you're right.
Happy to do these. And
KS says, I'm going to say it. Snake Eyes Origins movie is okay as long as I remind myself that it's not really Snake Eyes. I'm a purist. I'm with you. I felt the same way. But with that said, that was pretty good. I mean, for a little goofy action movie. But see, that's the problem with making stuff based off of IPs that are recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you're going to run into that if you change it at all. Because I know that's what they're doing. They're going in, they're going, look, guys, this is our opportunity to make something cool and different. I tell you, man, I'm starting to realize now why they do that too. Some of it's legal reasons, but some of it's just that if you want to read that story, you just go read the comic. And I would imagine that a lot of these producers and directors are probably like, I don't really want to do that, but that's their job. So they make the movie that they're not that crazy about in the first place. So I was talking to someone about that today, about how Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was so faithful in most ways. Like the costume was but whatever.
What color belt should I give him?
This is where you can include red. I think of red and gold, white, and gold.
That sticks with me as like, but he's not a red belt.
No, but it's just another interesting color. That's the one thing about that I do like about I like a lot of things about that Rivals game, but I like I really enjoyed the overall the color usage in that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like the overall designs. I'm just they're just not necessarily all suitable to the characters they're portraying. That's kind of my thing with it.
Yeah. Just a lot of it is the push for diversity at the cost of the real origin story. That's true, but sometimes you'd be surprised how many times that a team of artists will work on something, and just to make it really, it serves the art team. And of course, if they have certain cultural biases, that's going to be in there too. But often they'll just say, let's try something different, and it's not always, because even before identity politics was a thing, or at least this obvious, this kind of stuff happened all the time. Jimmy says red belt, then he says nice, and then Rhaegar says, yeah, I'm all about keeping original characters the same. You don't see anyone making a Chinese Luke Cage or a white Blade. Yeah, that's an argument.
I'll make a Chinese Luke Cage.
Or asking for it unironically. So you know what I would have given there? I wouldn't have given him the bare legs. I would have given him like black leggings. Like when they wear those techie socks now that they make. I would have done something like that for that.
Techie socks?
Yeah.
Really just say, give him techie socks.
Yeah, there's socks out there that have technology built into them that are pretty cool. Like like the ones that have copper or other metals. That's cool.
No, he's not gonna wear.
Jimmy wrote hashtag Rook Cage. Look what
Rook
you
Cage.
KS says it's funny, they could have done a Storm Shadow origin story, but I don't I think the filmmakers are really aware of Storm Shadow outside of the old cartoon. A shame. The comics are so much richer. I think the reason why they didn't do Storm Shadow is because Snake Eyes is their Batman. It's like in the action figure lines. I own maybe 7 Snake Eyes figures.
Yeah.
I'm a mark for Snake Eyes, but yeah, he's their Batman. Yeah, I'm saying like something like
No.
okay. Anyway, these socks, they're just like like what the guys wear in football, what they wear on their arms.
This is Kung Fu.
It's kind of like compression socks. I know, but we're still trying to make this guy techie.
He's got big old techie gauntlets.
No. That's just he's got a belt. I see what you did there too.
Really?
I like the belt a lot. Like those things on the side. That's pretty cool. My favorite thing about this is the dragon on his chest, like
Big
that.
old techie.
Huh? My mother what?
He's got big old techie. I'm not giving him heated socks.
Well, I'm just saying that it would make him look a little more updated. Oh, there's another short on that secret level show. It's Sifu. It was too short though. It was too quick. I would like to have seen that more explored. You ever play Sifu?
Hmm?
A game called Sifu.
No.
KS says, I originally loved Snake Eyes as a kid, but then I realized he was hard to play with because he's mute. Flint became my favorite. This is true. My favorite thing to do when I was a kid, I used to love taking them apart and replacing the parts. And for the longest time, my favorite figure, which I did something like that with my classified set, I took Quick Kick's head and put it on Ninja Snake Eyes body.
What color is this guy's power signature?
I don't know.
Because Iron Fist was yellow, right?
Yes.
What's her name? Lee.
Ling Lao. Kung Lao. Lee. Kung Lao wins. Yeah, Naked Snake says yellow or green, and JJH185 says green. Jiminy says yellow.
So chartreuse.
Chartreuse.
Yellow green.
Yeah, I guess. KS says purple. I'm kidding. I don't have a clue.
That's terrible.
uh
All right, let's use Phalams. Bright yellow green.
Gene says a hero starting with being thrown into a foreign culture and adapting is a strong classic story element. Iron Fist, Paul Atreides. This is true. Naked says bright yellow green.
This is the wrong signature. All right, let's do light.
Those are your signatures.
Oh.
Guys, we were like getting into the mind of a madman. Let's see Mike pull this off. Ooh, what's that brush? Is that a secret brush?
No, it's a light brush.
Why is freaking neon running in a wall?
In game, it's like a neon green effect, like Broly from Dragon Ball.
Oh my gosh, I need to freaking look this up myself.
Well, you can just change it. You can always play with it. And listen, you're redesigning them. Have fun.
Power Man, Iron Fist. Images. What is his name? Lee? What is it? Lee?
Li Ling. I had KS
No,
says I had
something Lee. Something Lee.
Lin. Lin Lee.
Lin.
Lin Lee or Lee Lin, something like that. You corrected me the first time. KS says I had a couple of extra Footloose action figures. I used to swap out heads because Footloose had the most accurate army looking outfit. I know, dude.
What the heck?
Yeah.
His sword comes out of his hand like a freaking Wolverine claw?
What?
What is this dumb stuff?
Well, you know, what are you gonna do?
But yeah, it's purple. I mean, it's green.
Punching Panda says Chinese names ain't so easy, ain't it, Mike?
Ring Ree, okay? He named Ring Ree. Sheesh.
You're so stupid. Oh my gosh. Lin Lee, Jude says. He forms blazing sword.
He formed a blazing sword out of his hand. It don't make no sense. It's like this. Like that.
Mr. Blandito Gaming says, what do you use to do art? Michael?
What do I use to do art?
Yes, sir.
My talent on loan from God.
Oh, I like what you got there, Mike. He's using a.
Now watch this. I switched to the light pen.
He's using an iPad and an Apple Pencil too. Punching Panda says, "So rame." Oh my gosh! Procreate. Did I mention Procreate? Yeah, that's it. Procreate.
Never played me again, retard.
Procreate, man, is the bomb, bro.
Dude, I love the light brushes. I use these all the time.
I never use them.
What?
I never use them. I'm always just doing traditional comic inking stuff. I don't pay a lot of attention to those brushes. I
Then
need
you
to
could do like glimmer and be like, oh, look at that power signature.
I'm a little concerned about the way you just did that vocal.
Oh. Then you could,
John Min says, I saw a mistake,
ooh,
Mike.
that looks even cooler,
Fixed it.
right?
What's that?
Right? Doing it like that. Instead of that.
I kind of wish it had a little more saturation, though. I like the idea of it being more translucent.
Like that. Ooh.
Jude says, such an odd name for a program. Sounds absolutely degenerate. Yeah, it's true. I had the same thoughts. I was like, Procreate? This is weird. I saw a mistake, Mike. Okay, I read that. Naked says, thanks. Looks like a good workflow. Trying to adjust brushes in Photoshop, but I may just look some up.
I kind of like the pen light.
I do too. John Mintz says, look, Mike, look how many diamonds in the gauntlets.
I know, I saw that. Don't say anything out loud.
Why does one have more than the other?
Well, actually, there's a difference. His right hand gauntlet and his left hand gauntlet are different. See, the right hand goes all the way up to his bicep.
Michael,
What?
how dare you?
It's true. It's
true.
true. It's true. I mean, I could just be lazy and be like, oh, okay, let's do this then.
Juice says he's right-handed. What does that mean?
He's a light-handed.
LOL, says John Mintz. The energy covered it. 'Tis true.
Yeah,
It's
now.
true. I like it, man. I like that gray in there. The silver or metallic or whatever, steel, brush metal, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like I said, I've seen it 1,000 times in other things. And now I'm like, oh, yeah. If everything's too matchy and you don't have some kind of accent color in there, it doesn't, it's not quite as appealing. Did he steal Grifter's mask, says KS?
Grifter stole his.
Punching Panda says, It's card artistic rarity.
Collect.
I'm so glad you guys are saying all this stuff and not me.
All right, I think we're done, man.
I love it, man. I think it looks
Ching
great.
chong bing bong, let's go.
Gauntlets don't need to be symmetrical since he uses his right hand more, and it's all a bit more different, buffed.
No, I'm looking at the different illustrations of him. His right arm is wrapped like all the way up to his bicep, and his left arm is just at the wrist.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I think because that's where his sword. So that's from what I've gathered, what gave him his power is some magical sword he had blew up, and shrapnel from the sword got into his right arm, and somehow that's what gives him freaking green Wolverine claws now. I didn't see that image before, but this'll do. Just fist wrap to prevent injuries. No, that's not right. All right, looks great. Everybody loves it. It's 12:30 in the morning. I'm gonna quit now. Elliot, thank you so much for keeping me company while I took way too long to do this illustration. I will
Got
do
it.
editing and whatnot tomorrow. Thanks everybody for being here. This video is going to go into members only mode. So if you are not a member and you want to watch it, it's $2 a month. And Ellie, do you want people to follow you to your?
Yeah, you can go check me out over on Instagram at Elliot Fernandez _art.
Oh, Jiminy's got it.
Yep.
He's on the ball. If you have not already liked and subscribed, we are on our way to 13,000 subscribers. So I'm calling you guys the 13. You don't want to be stuck being a 14.
Tis true. Tis true.
Elliot, you sound like your voice is running out of steam.
Because I talk all night.
I know.
And all day.
And I appreciate every minute of it. Please tell me I had that recording. Okay.
Man. I'll say it all over again, Mike, but I'm not sure if I do it in order.
Yes, you guys are Generation 13.
Ah, that's funny.
Maybe I'll do a little emoji of like 13 and then 14 and then 15. I'll probably stop around 20. All right. Anyways, God bless you all. See you on the next exciting episode of whatever the heck I call this. Fixing Marvel Rivals. Good night now.
Yeah, good night. You hear?